I knew it.
My recording started now.
Okay.
We have 420 viewers.
We're live. We're live.
Hello and welcome to the 133rd episode of the Destiny Community Podcast. And Watts and I are back from Japan.
Woo,
Literally yesterday.
God damn.
We haven't been back for, I guess we've been back for 24 hours. We landed at 11 a.m. yesterday.
Are you jet lagged?
So what? Yeah. Do you have airplane
Probably.
flu? What's going on?
Yeah.
I have Tomo flu. So Tomo got sick while we were in Japan.
Mhm.
I assume it's some kind of Japanese flu. And
The
now I
Japanese
have
flu.
it. Yeah,
Is that an official designation by the World Health
I
Organization?
believe so.
Okay.
I hear the only way to kill it is with fire. Godzilla.
Bad news.
So I
Tomo
have to
fans.
set myself on fire.
I'm trying to think of how Godzilla gets taken down.
We have a story about
you have to
Godzilla.
summon
That's a good segue.
Yes. You
Is
need
it
to
really a
use moth.
segue?
You have to
It's a
summon
segue.
Mothra.
Godzilla.
Yes.
I gotta say Godzilla jacket while I was there.
Awesome. Do you
Yeah,
have
got
that?
Godzilla
Did you show it on
jacket?
camera?
God.
I mean, yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah, man.
I'll give some backstory. So basically, we were looking for some comfortable shoes for Patrick because his shoes were killing him.
Yes.
So he had a shoe fund. He walks
Classic
into a
mistake
store,
of a traveler. Classic mistake.
saw a Godzilla jacket, and was like, "I'm getting that." So his shoe fund went to this Godzilla jacket.
That's awesome. I love it.
But he loved it. He's had. Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
This is just the front.
For
That is the front of the jacket.
What?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I don't know what it looks like on stream, so I'm just gonna. Am I in frame?
Can you
Kathy?
get closer?
Nod yes.
Can you come
Okay, cool.
closer?
All right, here we go. Front of the jacket says Gojira. There, that's Gojira.
Uh-huh.
I think.
Sure.
I
Yes.
can't read it.
Just some like
from
little
here.
things right here. But the real thing
Let's see
about
it.
the jacket
Crown
is
jewel. Oh,
Oh
wow.
my.
Wow. That is very.
I'm getting very Yakuza vibes from Holtz right now. Did he join the Yakuza?
Yeah.
Do we have to
Yeah,
fear
so
for our
these
life now?
Jackets are sold all over Japan. It's like the very typical kind of Yakuza looking jacket.
Awesome.
And it's just, they're sold everywhere. And apparently there's a Godzilla one.
That is
For
amazing.
audio listeners, if you've ever seen the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, it's very much like his jacket, but instead of a big tiger on the back, it's Godzilla. It's like would you call that a silk jacket?
It's like a stitched silk jacket.
It's got
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
shine.
it's
It's
really
got some
cool,
shine.
though.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
shimmer.
yeah, it is a very comfortable jacket.
looks
to
plush.
wear.
And shiny.
Like a black body and white arms, but the back is just a stitched, awesome looking Godzilla.
That's
Is
awesome.
that
That's pretty
Japanese? Is that Japanese lettering on the front? Is that what
Yes.
you're on both sides?
Yeah.
Yeah, on both sides of the sides of the jacket.
Now, was that a...
Oh, no,
what-
there's only one side had the Japanese.
In
Lettering
katakana.
Did-
I mean, on both sides of the.
What,
Sorry.
was that a spendy purchase over there, or was it
Yes.
like, yeah, okay,
Yes.
so it was
that,
spendy.
that was a spendy purchase. It was from a boutique shop.
Oh, wow.
It was.
Watts, did you approve of said apparel purchase? I
No.
know how.
I wasn't even there when it was happening.
No,
Tomo was
no,
there.
Tomo was there. See,
Tomo was there, and Tomo approved. Okay,
Yeah.
Tomo
I'm
approved.
surprised. I would have thought he'd have a hard time giving up that shoe budget to a jacket.
Godzilla jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that jacket, though. That jacket easily
was
went
get-
over.
So the story is we were looking for a pair of shoes for me because my feet are fucked.
It was very difficult to find shoes, by the way.
Which is true in America as well. I have very, very wide feet, and they're like, we need to get you some Ultra Boost. And I was like, hell yeah! I've heard these things are so comfortable. Literally don't fit. My feet
He,
do
he
not.
couldn't
wide.
get his toes in it. Could barely
Yeah,
get the toes into the.
Yeah, if this is the whole, my toes just
Hmm.
that they just don't
Just-
even it doesn't work.
Wow.
This
Yeah.
did not happen.
Webbed out, just whoosh, you know?
Yeah, so we were going around to a few different stores, like looking for some stuff, and then when Watts and you guys were in, like, I think one of the Nike stores, I was just like, I'm gonna walk around for a little bit, and then like I just saw a shop that had an Evangelion jacket, really similar to the.
That one was
Yeah.
cool too. That one was like $1 billion.
sick. No, that one was actually cheaper than my Godzilla jacket. That
Oh,
one
was it?
like,
The
that one
Godzilla
was, I
jacket
think,
was $2 billion.
yeah, the Evangelion one was $230, and then the Godzilla one was $330.
Huh.
So
$330
Patrick,
jacket.
Wow. Nice.
Ben,
I have a different opinion of that jacket now that I know the price.
What if it was also really comfortable and it's a fucking Godzilla
And
jacket?
handmade, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not
it is
going to
a
bust
handmade.
that out at any occasion, obviously. There's going to
Yeah,
be
look,
specific
this
occasions
is
when you
the-
rock that
Well,
jacket.
Listen,
This was
Patrick's gonna
literally-
wear this everywhere with his shorts.
Yeah?
Yeah, this was literally the only thing I purchased for myself
It's true.
while I was in Japan.
That was it?
I didn't buy anything else.
So you
aside
didn't
from
buy
food.
shoes? You couldn't find
No,
any
I did not buy
shoes?
shoes.
Wait,
when I came out of the store and I had the Godzilla jacket, I was like, guys, I got a Godzilla jacket. And they're like, oh, sweet, man, you finally got something. I'm like, I can't buy shoes anymore. So our entire point of being here in Harajuku is it's gone. Who gives a fuck?
Adventure. That's what the point was.
Yeah, no,
That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We did some shopping.
Can we? So you guys were there for how long total?
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. Did you go to a travel agency to plan
No,
your trip?
you don't need them.
No.
I'm sorry for insulting you.
Unbelievable, Pope.
How did you plan?
How
How did you go
dare
about
you.
planning your Japanese adventure?
So me and Tomo have been to Japan a few times, and this was a lot of people's first time going. Sometime I think one of the people we went with, they hadn't been in like 9 years. So
Because there was a
long
whole
time.
bunch of you, right? It
That
wasn't
was
just you.
8 total.
8.
It's a big crew.
And you want
It
to
is a
say
big-
who all was there or no?
So it was Ash, who is our amazingly talented artist for DCP. And then we had Tomo, of course, and then Dado was there as well. And then there was 2 people who work at Bungie, and then there was one of Tomo's best friends.
So were you all? Would you classify all of you as what was the word? Weebs.
Nerds.
No, nerd.
Weeb.
Weebs?
Weeb.
No.
Weeb.
No.
Dado doesn't know what anime is.
He doesn't?
No, he knows what it is. He does
say-
not watch any anime.
I want to say the
Didn't
only
he
actual
dress
weebs
as
of us were 3. Like it was like Watts, Tomo, and I.
Yeah.
Like the only actual.
Well, actually,
weebs.
no, Jube. Jube is
Yeah,
like,
Jube is
he's
just, like-
super into like Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
and he's
Okay.
into very specific anime.
But still
But
being in the
he's-
anime, though.
and Pokemon.
Right?
That
He's
that
Pokemon.
fits. So you guys had a mutual interest, and is this a good time of year to go
Yeah.
to Japan? What drew you at
Yes.
this specific time?
Cherry blossoms, motherfucker! Whoop, whoop.
And the weather is, you don't want to go in summer. Japan's summer is like 95 degrees with 100% humidity. Don't go in
It's-
sure.
it-
Avoid it.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Okay.
It sucks, apparently.
So spring
It's
was a
like,
good.
is that
spring-
like going
spring
to
was
say Florida in the middle of the summer?
Hmm.
Ooh, yikes.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yikes.
going to Florida on July 4th weekend.
Right. Or how about spending a month in Vietnam over the month of July?
Yikes.
Yikes.
I feel like there's worse experiences that have been had in Vietnam.
Yeah. In retrospect.
Historically speaking,
Yeah.
you're probably right.
But
So
it is beautiful there.
it's
'cause
a
all the cherry
beautiful. It's
blossoms.
beautiful there. The as Patrick pointed out, the cherry blossoms are. Describe those because I may not know what they look like.
Yeah.
They're pink.
Awesome.
Pink
Imagine a tree
like
that has
pink
really
flowers.
small pink flowers
Mhm.
but
Everywhere.
everywhere. Instead
Everywhere.
of green
Wait.
leaves on it,
I saw
just
this
fucking yeah.
in Sekiro. There was cherry blossoms, wasn't there?
Yes.
I bet
Oh.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of places that I went was basically Sekiro. So
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Did you kind of feel like, stabbing somebody in the back, but you had to hold back, like
Yeah. Did you sneak up on somebody and just
the
like,
red dot popped up in the back? You're like, don't do it.
The only people I felt like stabbing in the back were the people that fucking
we were traveling with.
No. It was the people that fucking stood side by side on the escalator. You fucking stand on one side.
Nick?
This
Feel
is
free
true.
to
In
beep
Japan.
all of those f bombs.
Always leave a passing lane.
Yes.
This
Yeah,
is
that
true
has
in
to be
life.
a
It's not
bathroom.
just the escalator. This is true
Everywhere.
on obviously the road. This is true at the grocery store, when you're out shopping. Anytime that there are multiple lanes of traffic, always keep to the right when you're moving slow. Unless you're in London or England, I should say, in which case you do everything
Or
wrong
Japan.
anyway. Then you
Yes.
can just go to the left. But
Briar,
Doesn't really matter.
can you fill me in on if, let's say, I want to be an asshole? What do I do at those
Yes.
situations then?
stand too wide and walk slower than the average pace of
Create a
Oh,
block.
and don't forget to
Blockage.
randomly
Yes.
stop in the middle of the street and just.
Oh yeah, that works super well. If
Okay.
you just like cold stop.
Awesome. I
The cold
appreciate
stop.
this knowledge. Thank you guys.
Mhm.
I completely agree with Holtzman on
So
this topic.
Watts, when you landed in Japan,
Yes.
you went to, what was your first stop? What was like the first place you guys
We went to
go see?
Ichiran, which is a ramen place. So we landed at I think we landed at 3, but we didn't actually get to the
Like
hotel until
Ichiran?
6.
Ichiran ramen.
Ichiran.
Okay.
Is it
All right.
What city did you land in?
Tokyo.
Tokyo. And
Okay.
Ichidan is like it's well known for its ramen. I imagine
Well
It's
known.
the only thing that they'd have there.
they only have ramen.
Yes.
That's
Okay,
it?
and do
most
you,
most
do you-
shops,
do you-
most,
do you
most
add it-
places are
Mhm.
like they do a dish. It's like this is
Okay.
a ramen place. We make ramen. We might also have gyoza on the side, but
we do ramen.
you will have
so
ramen.
let me understand. You have these. So basically, you go in there, you grab your own cup, and then you pour the hot water in yourself,
No.
or do they pour the hot water into your cup for you?
Okay, at each Ichiran,
It's like
you
the
go
little
to a
ramen
vending
things.
machine, and you put in like 1,000 or 2,000 yen, and you say what you want in the vending at the vending machine. Like you push a
Press
button,
buttons.
and it'll say, "I want this ramen."
Vending
And then
machine
I would
ramen.
also like no. You're not getting ramen from the vending machine. You're getting a piece of paper from the vending machine.
Okay, it's taking
will
your
say-
For
order.
the people.
Yes, the vending machine takes your order and it spits out a bunch of pieces of paper that you then give to someone else, and then they give you your ramen.
Why
after
can't I
you-
just tell that guy what I want?
Because this
Because
place is very
they're not
it's very
efficient.
all about having limited human interaction. So it's like you've had a long day, you get your own little booth, so you can't see anyone else, you don't talk to anyone, you don't see anyone, you just get your food, you give it to the person and you eat. So it's made for people who have had a long day at work and they just want to go and relax and not deal with being super polite, dealing with people. They just want to eat the food. Eat and enjoy the food alone.
I like how you say they don't want to deal with people being super polite, and yet they still bow to you when they give you the food. But you like can't really see them bowing.
can't see
but
them.
You can
They
tell
lift
they
up a
are.
little screen to give you the food so you can kind of see that they're bound.
You'll see like maybe like the
So,
lowest part of their
like
Wait, so
least
you're
least
inside-
amount of effort for a bow, basically, type of thing, like that.
Yeah. Okay, Pope, you know how at school, like sometimes when you're taking a test, like you would have like the wings up, like the thing built
that's what I'm
up.
picturing.
Okay, that's what you're eating at.
Really?
That sounds
Yes.
awful.
That's like
It's-
when you're in
It's
awesome.
trouble.
amazing. We
It's
actually,
awesome.
so for our last dinner, we went there and we
We're not
tried.
ready for the last.
No,
part
no,
of your
no,
dinner.
no. Listen. So
Okay.
we tried to close, like put the separation things away, and all of us were like, "No, hate it.
This
can't do
this
This
isn't
feels weird.
this
Feels
isn't
bad.
right.
No,
Okay.
So you're eating like you got 8 people there and you can't see each other.
Correct.
you can see each other. You can see, like if you're sitting here, you can see someone, but you can't see their bowl or when they're eating it. So the privacy is when you're.
So it's like
eating.
an antisocial restaurant.
Perfect.
Did you guys all get different
That's
types
not
of
why I
ramen?
go out to eat.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's
different.
It's got their
Yeah.
own feel. So you guys
yeah.
enjoyed it.
Wait, two questions. One,
okay.
did you guys order different types of ramen at the same restaurant?
This place does one
One-
type of ramen, but you can change how spicy it is, how much
Okay.
garlic you want, all that.
Is this
kind of
also
stuff.
because it's all right? So that leads into the next question. Is that because they've like refined this recipe for like
Yes.
years and years and
The
years?
millennia.
Like it's 5, 6, 7 generations of family who've been making
Yes.
this ramen.
Yes.
Like,
Like-
Hero does sushi kind of
Okay.
thing. Where
I can get behind this.
Oh,
Right,
like
it's just-
I could
this is
deal-
the-
I could deal with the antisocial
Ichiran.
thing for
Yeah.
that.
It's like this is Ichiran ramen. We're not going to be like, oh, we're going to have three or four varieties of ramen. No, you're having Ichiran ramen. Your Ichiran ramen might have more spice, but it's all the same broth.
Can I get it gluten free?
No,
Do they even know what that is?
no.
Yes.
Tefty, you're.
There's a
fucked.
lot of gluten-free and vegan
3
restaurants there,
centuries
actually.
of ramen can't change for my gluten free nature. I feel you.
Well, they just assumed that natural selection would weed you guys out, so
It's
they
true.
didn't make anything for.
I'm laying away on my deathbed here, but oh my god.
All right, so you got you visited some castles too, right?
So the places we went, so just generally we went to Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. Those are the 3 places. Just because I thought if that's someone's first time going to Japan, those are kind of the 3 main spots you want to hit the first time, probably. So we went to Osaka Castle, very, very famous castle. I
I've heard
went
of that.
to.
I have heard of that.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
does it like float or vanish or anything? Like I hear like a lot of Japanese
It
kids.
No.
moves. It moves.
It moves. Cool.
Yeah.
That's
but
super
a
cool.
lot of history went down at Osaka Castle.
Yeah.
Um,
I've read about it in there was like these feudal kingdoms, right? In Japan, like anyway,
Yes.
they kick some ass basically. And weren't they in charge for a little bit? Like they're in what part of Japan are they in?
Who?
The Osaka Castle. Like what
It's in
part of?
Osaka.
It's in Osaka.
No, geographically, like
North,
what's it
south,
by?
mid, west.
It's by
East.
Osaka.
Oh, you guys, never mind.
It's like kind of in the
Slightly
mid.
south of Tokyo.
Yeah, it's about an hour south. Of
Give me in
Tokyo.
relation to where Godzilla would strike first. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Tefty.
Godzilla would go to
Uh,
Tokyo probably.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
So Tokyo
'cause,
first, and then Godzilla goes west.
Yeah,
South?
the
Southwest?
Fukushima power
Goes
plant
south.
Goes south.
is right by Osaka.
Okay. Nice.
Another castle we went to is called Nijo Castle. Patrick didn't go to this one, but this one was actually where I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but the floors squeak, so it sounds like they're called nightingale floors because they sound like birds.
Whoa.
Oh,
So as you're
really?
walking, you just hear like this chirping as you're walking through all of the building, and that's where samurai lived. So the people who were in control at that time, that's where they all lived during that
I lived
period.
in
So that
a
was really
I lived in a rent controlled apartment in Oakland that the landlord
Same
also
thing with floors.
said, yeah, with
Same
the
thing.
floor. They said they had like nightingale floors, everywhere you walked, it was like
and you're like, oh, cool.
yeah, it's
You're like, that's nice. Huh.
that's great.
Makes it harder
Um,
for ninjas to infiltrate your.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Anybody steps in there as a ninja? Be like,
Yep.
nah, fam.
Ninja proof.
And what struck you the most about these? Like when you walked into these places and you were visiting them, what's something that just jumped out at you, like that struck you the most? Ninjas.
Okay, so with Nijo Castle, the cool thing is they have plaques in all languages, so everyone can read it, that tells you why they decorated them the way they did. So the first room you go into is all tigers and like very intimidating because they wanted anyone visiting to be like, oh, these people mean business. But
Sure.
then in their more kind of resting places, you have trees and maybe some ducks. So it's more relaxed. So that was interesting to see that every room that they've decorated and in every way that they did it was very specific and it had a reason. The tiger thing was actually cool because they didn't know what tigers looked like. So they had to draw tigers based on the skins that they had imported, but they had no idea what the tigers looked like.
Sure.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So they looked very interesting.
Flat. But it sounds like you guys you have a fascination for Japanese culture, so you're the anime and you follow it and you read about it and you watch shows about it. Did it connect to that in real life? Is
I'm curious about that.
Is that something that you felt a connection to in some way?
Yeah, is it prevalent there? Or do you have to go seek and find anime? Yeah.
Pat, do you want to tell?
That's the thing. Like,
I would
I've never
actually
been there,
like to
so I
know-
legit don't know. Like,
I'd like to know, Pat, your first impression of Akiba and walking around there.
So Akiba is like, imagine if you could take the kind of the culture of viewing, appreciating whatever anime, or just like, say you are a fan of a show. If you want to find memorabilia of that show, no matter how fucking obscure it is, you can go to this section of
One Punch
Tokyo.
Man.
Yeah, definitely.
That's not
Oh, it's
yeah,
not.
not obscure, man.
It's
Super.
not
It's like a
obscure.
niche,
It's
It's only I've really
A
heard of it.
niche. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. You can go to Akiba. You can find something about it. Basically, Akiba is a city. It's electronics, just
electronics,
almost
anime.
electronics, anime, almost like pop culture in general. Just
Do you see
in a
people
city.
walking around in cosplay?
Yeah,
The maids.
The
Are
Maid.
There's
dressed up
like-
like anime?
We went to a maid
Yeah.
cafe.
we went to a maid cafe.
Wait.
Okay,
Hold
tell
Hold
me
on.
more.
Maid cafe.
Yeah,
Are they
so
actually
I'm
maids?
curious.
Or are they
Go ahead.
like? Do you hire
Okay,
maids that come
Patrick,
as anime?
Go for it.
Okay, no, look, it is someone who is dressed as a maid,
Mm-hmm.
and
Like
you go to
a like a sexy maid,
like
or
like a French sexy maid.
Okay,
But they're
Uh,
Japanese.
Yes,
but they're not actually cleaning
so
anything.
dress like a French sexy maid, Pope.
What is a French sexy maid? I don't have a French sexy maid at my house, so
Ah,
I need to describe it.
You
We have
explain so
audio
much.
listeners. Will
Short
you please?
skirts, frilly, little hat,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. What else,
Okay.
Patrick?
stockings.
Go ahead.
Yeah, stockings, usually like
Mhm.
high heel type things.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I don't
like,
think we really have to explain this in detail. I think everybody knows what a French maid
Hope,
looks
What?
Hope is just being
okay.
really.
We need to know
asshole-ish,
what
thorough.
what is this place about now?
Yeah, what are we doing?
It is a cafe where the people that serve you are dressed as maids,
Oh,
and then
it's
in-
like
in
Hooters
There's
for
like a
Japan.
Hooters.
Yeah, Hooters for
No.
Japan.
No, they have Hooters
No.
in Japan.
No, they
They have
actually,
one.
yeah, they have Hooters in Japan. No, but I only saw advertisements, so we didn't go in.
Prior.
We went into the Maid Cafe, and it's like, oh, you sit down, and all of a sudden, Maid comes up to you with like this little box, and like you put your hand and grab a number out of it. Oh, yeah, it's a bunch of pieces of paper, and it's like, oh, what did you get?
You're playing
you won a
bingo?
prize. What do I win? A picture with one of the maids. Okay, great. And you go up there, and they're all acting like all super cute, and like they tell you a bunch of rules in Japanese, which I'm really glad Tomo was there to say, look, just don't touch the maids. That's basically all you have.
Well, I already put my hand in her box. Like, what else can I do to her?
Yeah, seriously.
She handed it to you, so there you go.
We also were
Um,
given glow sticks upon
yeah.
arrival.
Given
So-
glow
So-
sticks.
At these maid cafes, you can pay a little bit of extra money for them to do a performance. So it's like they'll sing and dance from one of their songs. So they gave us glow sticks, lights go down, and one of the maids gets onto the stage and starts dancing and singing to the Maid Dreaming song, which is the name of the cafe we went to.
Okay.
And then the two other girls come and do a insane glow stick dance, which was the most enthusiastic glow stick dance I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
I was very impressed.
Can
Yeah,
we get
like,
a short
is this like
demonstration?
is this
I
like
can't do that. No, they were like flinging their arms around in circles.
like next
and,
level rave?
to try to illustrate what it would be like would do it a disservice.
All right.
Okay.
Cirque du Soleil, Japan, strip
babes
club.
close.
Yeah, sure. There you go. Yeah, Cirque du Soleil, and like it was
so they
super
keep,
energetic.
They keep their clothes on during all of this.
Yes,
Yes.
there are maid cafes that you can go to where they will take their clothes off, though.
Really?
Do you eat
Also
at this
mid-
place, or is it like a strip club where they serve a buffet, but nobody actually would eat that
No.
shit?
You're not
They,
going.
But
they,
the maid-
the
at the
ice
maid
cream we
cafe.
got was like a whole
Oh, they
meal.
serve ice cream. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got parfaits.
Like
Parfaits.
giant. It's we have a picture of it. I have a picture on my phone.
The parfait was, I want to say, about about as tall as my
That's
my
a big
face.
parfait.
And it
I
was-
couldn't
a-
eat all of it. It was insane.
So you want to split the parfait?
Yeah.
Chad is asking for the address for those other cafes.
Yeah.
and
Can we
called
get
Go
a
to Aki-
Yelp
Just
reviews?
go to Akiba.
Just walk around
and start
Akihabara and you'll
walking.
find everything.
Just start walking. You will eventually find a
What if
place.
you want to find the best place, man?
Just
Well, we do have a very important question. In your time in Japan, did you find any place that did a proper crawdad?
Did
No.
you eat any crawdads in
I
Japan?
didn't eat crawdads while I was there. I couldn't
Really?
find any.
Interesting.
How often do you guys eat sushi over there?
I actually didn't have a
That
lot
looks
of
amazing.
sushi while I was there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
looks amazing.
Is that green ice cream?
Is that
Yes,
matcha?
This was
Matcha
green
ice cream.
tea ice cream with some type of animal
Okay.
on the top.
Yeah.
An animal on top. Wow.
Yeah.
A
the,
cookie?
The parfaits
Shaped
were
like an
super
animal?
cute. Yeah. They shape the ice cream. They like do a ball ice cream and then put cookies in the side to make ears. It's super adorable.
So this
That's
is
just the
Some
Maid
had
Cafe. That
some had cotton candy on top, which is very intense.
I'm getting all kinds of mixed
super
messages
sugar.
about this place.
Yeah.
that is accurate.
That's pretty accurate to Japan.
So many
Yeah.
mixed
I
messages.
got a question directly for Watts on a creepiness scale. What would you give this on a 1 to 10?
This was actually not as creepy as the first
That was
time I went to a
super
Maid
tame.
cafe.
Okay.
Oh, so you've been to multiple of these
The
establishments.
first Maid cafe I went to, there was a guy there on his own with glow sticks. Like that was all he did all day. You could tell he lives in the Maid cafe.
Wait,
which
was he
I-
a customer or
Yes.
a employee? Oh,
Customer
Yes.
with the glow sticks?
glow sticks.
Yeah, he was
Bring your own,
partying.
I guess, right?
He was partying, having a good time.
Huh.
The rental
No,
fees can
the-
kill
no,
you
the-
on the glow
the-
sticks.
The glow sticks were custom branded to the cafe.
They had a
Oh.
heart on them.
They had
I
a heart
mean,
on them and
that
wrapped
sounds
in
like,
Maid
You know,
cafe specific wrapper.
So I bought lots of
Sounds like a
anime
great time.
things. I bought lots of key rings and I put them on my bag immediately. And I
Mhm.
bought a really cool bag, but this was in a different place that Patrick found, which I was carrying around in the most fashionable part of Tokyo. And we went into probably the most expensive store that we had visited the whole time we were there. And I was had this anime bag with me. And the one person to talk to me about anime was someone working in that store. The super fashionable, high-end boutique store
Hmm.
was the one that was like, anime. So that was that was fun.
Yeah. People know anime there. It's
Surprisingly, who would have thought?
kind of a thing there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know, from an outside perspective, it's tough to know. Like, I imagine a lot of people think about America and they're like, you got gun stores like on every corner, like Starbucks, you know, just go and.
I mean,
Depends on where you go in the country.
You do, actually.
it turns out
gun shops and churches. So
anime, it's everywhere. Even like Coco Curry's, which is a curry place we went to, they're having something, a collaboration with an anime. So you can get like souvenirs and stuff from there that's to do with the anime. So they use a lot of anime characters to advertise things, collaborations. It's
interesting.
Cool.
I've always wanted to go to Japan, and one of the things I'd like to do the most is go to Akihabara, because I just hear that if you like old, like retro video games, it's like it's like heaven there.
It's easy.
You can find
so
anything.
Easy. The first building that you go into off of
that we went into?
trains. No, okay, not that first building. The first building you see. The first building you see.
First building you see?
Yes, the first building you see
Sega.
is actually the Sega one. The building right next to that, to the right, is like in 9 floors of anime stuff, and then 2 of the floors have like retro video game stores on them, where you can buy current stuff, but you can buy anything for just about any system.
Like, is it all Japanese stuff? Like it'd be for the Famicom, not
for the
NES?
most part, yeah. You're only gonna find Japanese titles there.
Yeah, that's super cool though. Like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that never came out in America, especially for like those real old systems, like Famicom disk system, right? That never made it out in America. And there's games that never made it out in America because they were on like that specific system. Or the PC Engine, you know, it's equal the TurboGrafx 16 in America, but a lot of the games that were made for that never came out here.
Yeah, you would have a very easy time finding stuff in these
just
stores.
Feels like it'd be an amazing experience to go there and be even if you didn't buy everything you saw, just to see it all, and it was really cool.
Yeah, you'll have a very easy time finding anything kind of video. If you want to buy video games, Akiba, just go there.
Cool.
I ended up the first day that we were there. I ended up splitting off from the group and going and looking for camera stores.
Oh, nice.
While I was there too, so went and found some really cool used camera stores. Didn't buy anything. That was kind of the thing that I did.
You bought a jacket.
I ended up buying a jacket. I could have bought a really nice Rolly cord, which is a old medium format camera that has like 2 lenses stacked on top of each other and
cool
down into it. It's really cool old camera. Found a couple of those for pretty cheap. And then like you go from like cheap used camera stores to all of a sudden you're in like a super high end one where like everyone is wearing really nice suits and they're like escorting you around the shop trying to like get you like just buy the limited edition 2 million yen Leica.
Wow. Sounds
so
awesome.
I guess you guys, it's awesome that you guys are back, and then it sounds like you had a great time. If somebody was planning their Japanese vacation right now, what's one thing that, or 1 or 2 things that either one of you guys,
Maid cafe do we go to?
What would you say that they'd have to do or see while in Japan? Watts, we'll start with you.
So if you have any interest in history at all, especially samurai history, there's one place you should go, which is the gravesite of the 47 Ronin. Some of you may have seen the movie. It's bad. Don't watch it.
It's really bad.
Haven't. It's really bad. Don't watch it. Terrible. But basically, it's a place where all of the samurai that were a part of that situation are buried. So if you're interested in history, that was a really fascinating place to be because their whole story is just insane. And so, yeah, if you care about samurai history, especially, you might want to go and visit there. Plus, it's not that busy there. A lot of places are very, very busy. This was a place where you could take your time to really appreciate the history and what they did. And the museums that they have close to the gravesite are really, really interesting as well.
One thing I will say that I really liked about Japan in general was like the museums were either free or it cost a very cheap amount to like get into these museums, like $4, the equivalent of $4. So like even that this place that we went to, I think it was 500 yen to get access to both sides of the museum, which is like, what? Like it
like $4 or something.
Yeah, you would think that, oh, this place gets less traffic, they're going to charge just like the equivalent of $20. No, it's $5, and all of these places that we would go to that were like historical sites were. It was really crazy to be in basically the most densely populated metropolitan area in the world, but then be in this completely serene location where you don't hear any of the city. Like you're completely isolated from all of that, which was
so. Speaking of serenity and peace, something that came up earlier in the podcast a few months ago, and you took to Twitter to point out with Tefty, one of the first few days that you were there. Patrick, will you talk a little bit about your trip to a what is it? A bathhouse? Is that what they're called?
Oh yeah, we got it. Yeah.
After the Maid Cafe, did you guys? Yes, okay. Was this then? But post Maid Cafe, went to the bathhouse.
This is a different day.
This is a different day.
A very different day.
Different day.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we I think on like our second full day there, we went to an onsen, it's a very traditional bathhouse. You go in, they give you what was it called? What's a yukata, which is just a traditional robe, and you go undress, put that on, and then you go around and just be super fucking relaxed all day.
Is there anybody that inspects you? Are there any rules to say that
did you have to spread them?
No,
lean over and cough.
No, but the rules are very clearly posted that say if you have tattoos, you will not be admitted. If you are found to have tattoos, you will be
vindicated,
asked to leave.
I will say that there are some onsen that are more understanding of foreigners with tattoos, and that rule kind of only applies to Japanese people. But there are others that are just like, no. It's an easier policy for them in a lot of those places if they just say a flat no, not allowed, than having it on a case by case basis. But yeah, this was the one that we went to was definitely not. Did not want any tattoos. They didn't give you an option to cover it up with like a Band-Aid or whatever, a bandage.
It was a strict place.
It was a strict place of just no tattoos.
How did you get in?
Go into the bath nude? It's like a nude only kind of situation. So, you go in nude.
So with the onsen, it's kind of hard for people to picture what it is because they'll just think, oh, you get in there and it's a bath and you get in, but it's actually a whole place. If you think of a traditional Japanese festival where they have all the stands of different food and you have some little games you can play, you have that when you first walk in. So you can buy a bunch of food, you can play some games, you can
go get some beer.
Go get beer. So you have that. And then they have different parts of the onsen when you can go and be in an actual bath. So there's a foot one that men and women can go in together and you just put your feet in the bath and it just feels nice for your feet. And then they have separate male and female sections where you get butt naked and you get in and have a nice, but the thing is that it's natural spring water. They have very, 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 very hot ones, lukewarm, cold, different variations of minerals are in the different onsens as well. So it's there to just help you relax. It's supposed to be good for your muscles.
Sounds awesome.
Interesting. Yeah. Well,
it was amazing.
We're really glad that you got to go, Patrick, and that you didn't collapse to the peer pressure to get a tattoo and possibly not have that experience.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Did they have an anti-mullet sign there?
No.
Oh.
Mullets are allowed.
Mullets were fine. Almost incredible.
I want to hear more about Japan. There's more Twitter questions about them, but before we move off of the Japan topic, I did hear some rumors about a karaoke night, and I'm wondering what the video situation was like going on.
And how much do we have to raise for those videos to be posted on Twitter?
So I know Tomo has some videos. I haven't looked at them yet, so I don't know. He was also very drunk, so I don't know how extensive they are or how good they are.
He definitely recorded me singing.
He definitely recorded Patrick singing.
He definitely recorded me singing some Linkin Park.
He did.
That is something I need to see
right now.
Yeah,
I got this, Briar.
Sounds great.
So this karaoke night so initially we went into the room for, I think it was 3 hours. So the reason why with this karaoke, you have your own room. So it's just your group in your own room. You can control the lights. So you can have like a disco ball going on. You can have it be bright. You can have it be dark. And you can order
air conditioning.
Control air conditioning.
Wow.
And you can order food. So you have this full menu and you order through the TV. So you just input what you want. Every food and drink item has a number associated to it. And they just bring the food to you. We got the all you can drink. So we could just keep ordering alcohol as much
Like
as
where
you
this
want.
is going.
We then went to extend our time because we were like, we've just finished eating at the end of those 3 hours. So we ended up having the room for like 6 hours.
Yeah, I committed to 2 hours, went to 3 hours, and then was like, it's fucking midnight 30. I'm shit faced. I'm gonna go.
It was not that late by then. It was like 10 p.m. I got home at 2 a.m. And that was after finishing 6 hours of karaoke and ramen.
I definitely remember living. Whatever. I was drunk.
You were very drunk. Everyone was very
shit-faced.
drunk.
I somehow made it back to the hotel. I genuinely don't remember how I got back.
This video needs to be made public.
Oh yeah, I'm on that, Briar. I'm working.
I'll take a look first now.
But
it was an amazing night.
I think we can bypass you completely on this one.
Yeah, watch. We're gonna leave it up to Tomo to give us a quick edit. I'm gonna see if I can produce it by the end of the show. So we'll see what's up.
That's not happening.
Okay. Well, we're excited to have you back. I want to tell you that I was really excited to have Fran and Fallout and True Vanguard try to step in and carry on the mantle while you guys were gone. They did a great job, but it really just having us all back together really means a lot. Yeah. And
it's good to be back. I'm happy to be back.
It's like it's good. Feels back to normal.
Yep.
So do we have what do we go to next?
I want to talk about the trip I'm on right now.
Briar, why aren't you in your normal stream room?
I moved to Memphis. I have heard the siren call of 15 pounds of crawdads, and here I am.
They're in season.
So I was invited to come down to the St. Jude Play Live Summit, and I'm here now. And today I actually visited St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and I got to say, I was really impressed by the whole operation and the tour. And I was saying a little bit before the show, it's a humbling experience to be in a place at the hospital itself where the highest of highs and the lowest of lows are happening at the same time, but there's this positivity and this positive message that's happening all the time. And we've worked with St. Jude in the past on a number of occasions, so we know a lot about it. How they've done incredible research on curing cancer for children, and the survival rate for cancer has gone up dramatically, because of the work they've done, and how if your child goes there, your whole family doesn't pay a dime the whole time that you're down in Memphis getting your child treated. So the only thing you have to concentrate on is the treatment of that child, not paying bills or trying to figure out where the next meal is going to come from. But just being there and seeing the positivity and the effort that goes into this, and it's a really powerful experience. And to be honest with you, I haven't processed it yet. It's still so fresh in my mind. It was just today, but I got to say, it's been a really amazing experience. And there's actually, I believe the number is 270 content creators down here right now.
Wow.
It looks amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and everybody is kind of people who've been here multiple times are going to see stuff they've never seen. Some of the people are going and playing games with children who are being treated right now. So there's all sorts of different ways to learn about St. Jude Children's Research Center. But it's really an amazing thing, and it's really humbling to be a part of it. And it's been an amazing thing. I can't wait till kind of get more involved in raising money and awareness.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we really want to thank Omni Waffle and Rare Drop It and Professor Broman and Gathalion for inviting you to represent DCP at St. Jude. It's we definitely are excited to be part of. We're going to have a charity live stream to raise money for St. Jude, even though we aren't going to be able to be at Guardian Con. We are going to participate, and we do definitely want to be part of the community that raises money for this amazing cause. So, Briar, thank you very much for being there. And you're going to be there for how many more days?
I'm leaving on Saturday.
And what else do you have coming up in the next couple? What's your itinerary look like?
Tomorrow, more activities, kind of learning about St. Jude and learning about fundraising for St. Jude. And then there's kind of a mixer, a party tomorrow evening, and then fly back Saturday. And then actually back for a couple of days. We hop on a plane for LA and go see Borderlands 3.
Yeah, listen to you in this like jet setting
man.
lifestyle.
Jet setting, Brian.
It's amazing how I live this Playboy lifestyle, but still keep it real for the common man, right?
It's amazing
I
how
respect
we've
your ability
actually
to do
never
that.
been to Ferrari Friday yet. Yet he's always talking about it.
Well, I keep waiting for you to play your cards right, but
Ferrari Friday. It's just a dream. It's a myth
To us. Briar, it's every
Not
Friday.
Briar.
It's every Friday. Well, safe travels, Briar. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
There. And then, so you're doing the Borderlands. Who else is doing Borderlands?
Be going down?
I was going to, but I am very sick, so I think that's a bad idea. I will get the whole directory of every game sick.
Dude, that is such the
Take
evil
everyone
idea.
down.
Watts, this is what you do so you don't have competition for content creation. Go down there and just cough on every single like keyboard you can find.
Yeah.
Then they'll all be wasted sick when you're up there. You'll be good at that point.
I'll be fine. I'll be
Yeah.
healthy.
You'll
See,
make
like,
it.
Here's
all
that
funny-
you said hi to Watts yet? God, no.
No, I haven't.
Here's the funny thing about the site that Tomo got. Tomo got that from Jared, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
I feel like it was like the same thing, more or less. Because the person that gave it to Jared was whoever the fuck was sitting next to him on the flight. But I was sitting in between both of them. And I like maybe barely got it. I don't know. Allergies?
Well, see,
Question mark?
viruses are a lot like people. You know, they just he jumped into your body and he was like,
Nah.
Wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, because he saw like how
Saw too
fucking
many
hard
crawdads.
all the antibodies and shit. They were sitting there with like brass knuckles just waiting for some.
yeah. He's
some
like, he
poor
got
son of a bitch to
intimidated.
come
And he was
in.
just
Yeah.
like,
No, it's just this place
I
doesn't
saw
look
a
that
giant
cozy.
crawdad in there. Was like, nah, I'm out.
Nah.
he's like,
Holy
hell
shit,
no.
this guy eats 15 pounds of crawdads on the rig. I'm not in. Don't worry, he'll probably die of a fucking heart attack in 2 years anyway. Don't worry, peace.
So we've got this illness that's running through you guys, or the traveling illness. So you're not going to make it down. But Tefty, are you? What are you excited about for Borderlands?
I'm just excited for Borderlands, honestly. Like
I mean the event. I'm sorry, like
getting to actually
Play
play
Borderlands.
it. Getting to play it. It's a blessing and a curse because we get to go down there.
Yeah.
I get to experience the title somewhat early. Get to actually play it and all that, and then I have to wait until September. So I'm gonna be hyped, blown away, like oh my god, because I'm going there first as a fan because it's like a dream type of thing to go and get to play this game early. So then the rest of the summer is just gonna be like, oh god.
Yeah. So I saw you tweeting about that, and that really resonated with like in the past. I did a early player test builds of different Destiny content, and having to sit there and wait for it, especially when it was really good and you're just sitting there. I mean, everybody in this room has had an opportunity to do that, and it is maddening.
The same thing happened with Destiny 2.
Right. So there's people that aren't invited to the event that are going to be hearing content creators talk about it. And I got to tell you, my life got a lot better when I waited. Like I didn't have content coming.
Withdrawal.
I didn't get to try stuff early because
It's rough. Yeah. Because you're playing this
hard.
thing that you're so in love with, and then you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
So it is a
Exactly.
blessing and a curse for sure.
Yeah. So I'm insanely
Yeah,
hyped about it, and
I'm willing to take that bullet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
do the honorable thing.
That's good. I'll take that one for the
Yeah.
team.
Now, I'm not sure what their setup is going to be, but it seems like they're going to be having a lot of people streaming it on their channels.
That's what they,
Yeah.
that's what they
So
said, yeah.
this seems pretty unprecedented for in the industry. Like,
Yeah.
They seem
Yeah.
to be really catering it towards the people that are coming and really making sure that they're being taken care of, which is really nice. And they're focusing on streaming
Yes.
as well, which not many people do. Usually
Most
it's you can
times
capture
events,
gameplay.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't really do anything for people that are missing time from streaming.
yeah.
I like that
That's
idea. It's so powerful. I wish for all the streamers that I know and that I've talked to that complain about that as an aspect of these capture sessions. I imagine the logistics is a lot harder
Oh, it's got to
than
be.
just having capture sessions.
Yeah.
But if this becomes the new industry like standard, where they provide ability for streamers to live stream their stuff, I don't.
First taste of a game on a lot of different people's channels like that.
Right.
That
Yeah.
seems
It's
like
going
the
to
future.
saturate Twitch, and
It's so dangerous, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Why?
so dangerous because your first impression is on a live stream as
Okay.
opposed to your first impression being on pre-recorded footage. That a lot of people,
Okay.
a lot of games, you have to sign an NDA. You know, when you go to these things, and they have final say over what you say in your video. Right?
Interesting.
Yeah, and that kind of goes to show you how they're feeling about this. They're like, let's invite people to play it live for the very first time. This game that is highly anticipated, that people are like, oh boy, it's been a long time. Look at the previous release. Oh, you know, I don't know. Can they pull this off? And they're having like hot takes happen by a lot of people that day.
I think it's also awesome for people who are watching it though, because they get to see multiple people playing in different ways and they get to see hours of content instead of just these little bits of videos.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I'm going to be going through and watching people's VODs and really taking it all in.
Yeah, I think from a marketing perspective, that's really brilliant. So long as the game is good. Like if they knock it out of the park, then like it's just so much content that they just generated that people are going to be buzzing and talking about, as opposed to this, what feels like an old school method of trying to be highly curated, highly like positioned type of release content to be like, here, have this little nibble, and then, you know, go dissect it for 2 months.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how risky is it for them really to do this? Because you won't, a lot of games, you won't get into the meat of it within the short period that they're giving you to play it, right?
Well, it's the experience, though. You know, it's like
Borderlands. But I mean,
Borderlands has
how much fun.
Go
ahead.
Borderlands has this like this gameplay loop from starting a character, going all the way to end game, to then collecting legendaries and all that. And it's it's tightly integrated to how the sandbox feels and plays, because there's a lot of weapons that are viable for you through a lot of levels as you're leveling up, and the leveling process is really exciting. Like making characters over and over is something that a lot of people do in Borderlands because it's really fun. So seeing that process, like if we see like say level 10 to 20 or maybe less, maybe it's like level 5 to 10 or something like that in whatever gameplay demo that they show us, that's going to reveal quite a bit of that sandbox that they built for Borderlands 3.
I hear you, Pope, though, because, like, for instance, when we went and played Destiny 2 at the pre-release event, we had no idea what the end game would be like, right? We didn't know what our complaints would be a month into release of the game, and that'll be true with Borderlands too. I'm sure we'll play a slice of that game, and we'll be able to tell you how it felt and what it looked like, and a lot about it. But we won't be able to tell you if the end game is any good.
I think a lot of people would have walked away from Anthem in a gameplay weekend and been like, this game's awesome. You know, it looks like a lot of fun. And
it's true. Yeah.
Right. So I still
Destiny
think
2,
that
Destiny 2 is that example where like we're super excited to jump into it.
People should still be, you know, not hesitant, but like, I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be the early adopters. They're going to go, no matter what, I'm buying Borderlands, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's going to have to be significant for me to buy it because I don't really have a whole lot of time. So it's going to either become my main game or not. So for me, I wait until reviews are come out, and if it's amazing, I'm going to get it. So it's going to be fun to watch the live stream, but I'm definitely holding back my purchase until
to see more.
Until I see more.
Yeah,
right?
That's fair. I wonder if they're going to have a beta. They had a beta for Battleborn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a PvP game.
True.
So I feel like
The PvP, they had a lot of PvE elements too, but
it's like playing a MOBA, right?
yeah, it was the core gameplay was going to be like a MOBA thing though.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if not a single player experience, but I don't know if an offline kind of PvE experience type thing needs a beta.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play a beta. As
Me
much as I
neither.
want to play a beta, like I don't want to play a beta.
I'm just thinking.
I want to just get the game. It really sucks with those games when you getting into them and you're getting loot and then you realize you're not going to be able to keep any of it and you don't feel attached to your character because of that reason. So with those games, I really do like just jumping into my game, my character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like getting kind of a feel for like the different classes. Like in Anthem, it was a good time to like get a feel for each of the classes, so that I knew which one I wanted to dive into head first when the actual game came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's funny being down here in Memphis with all these Twitch streamers. I swear to God, the number one topic of conversation is Anthem. It's like everybody just talks about Anthem.
Really?
Oh God, I love that game. I wish it was good. So many conversations about
that's
Anthem.
too bad.
yeah.
Well,
They've delayed more stuff too, so yeah.
There's a precedent for, what was the company that made No Man's Sky?
Hello Games. Yeah.
Hello,
Imagine if Hello Games had stopped trying to make No Man's Sky better.
Imagine if
Yeah.
Bungie had done that with Destiny.
Yeah.
Imagine if Division had not done that with Division 2, right, and prepping for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
games
just sucks
have-
that that's the model for releases now, it seems.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
They release a half
Or they're
finished
just so
product.
complicated, Briar, that now
It's a complicated type of game to make.
I think the industry is trying to feel it out, right? What does this model look like? How is it going to be successful? Everybody's looking at games like Bungie, who have made a successful game that have been able to adapt it over the years and stay relevant. And The Division, which also did the same thing.
Division 2.
Division
I would
2. I
say-
mean, they're just reincarnating, like bringing it back to life. And just, I think that it's extremely difficult for the industry right now to adapt to this games as a service. And I don't know. For me, I enjoy playing Destiny, but I don't want every game from here moving on to be a Destiny. I'd love
I
to
agree.
have these offline single player experiences that I feel like games like Bethesda, studios like Bethesda, who are phenomenal, or BioWare, that are phenomenal for making games like this, they step out and they try to do something else. I'm really afraid of like what these companies are being asked to do that's outside of their wheelhouse, that's really putting them at a risk.
That's really one of the things I'll be looking at Borderlands 3 kind of with an eye. Like, what does Borderlands look like in a post like live game world, right? After Destiny, after The Division, after Anthem, after all these games that have kind of done this game as a service model. What does Borderlands do with that? Like, how does Borderlands react to that? Is it going to be a sequel to Borderlands 2, like in a very specific way, or is it going to incorporate some of these new ideas that Bungie has ran with and Ubisoft,
or a hybrid of some sort?
Yeah.
I could very easily see them just sticking with what they know works, which is selling really fucking good DLC storyline things that just says, hey, that thing you like doing, playing good content and getting weapons, you're gonna keep doing that. DLC.
And they're definitely going down that route already, for sure. Like, they're expanding the universe. Tales from the Borderlands apparently expands quite a bit in the lore, and the calculations of how many guns with the billions or the billion guns in there is kind of astounding. What could potentially be in the game for the amount of content. So that's all exciting, but I definitely want them to innovate at least. Like, if they just take Borderlands 2,
they put legs on guns that walk. God damn it!
That's innovation
another,
number one. I'll take innovation number one. I need a series of innovations. I look back and go, Borderlands 2 will never be the same for me anymore because Borderlands 3 happened and it has this in there. Like, that's what I'm looking for an innovation side. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. Like, I look at Briar. I know you're excited about this, but new Star Wars project, right? It's by Respawn.
It was
Right.
really exciting when they announced what it actually is.
Right. So it's a single player story driven game, right?
Very exciting.
And I mean, back to my original point, but isn't what's Respawn known for?
They're known for multiplayer shooters, right? They're the guys who created Call of Duty, and they're the guys who. I mean, Call of Duty used to have a great campaign, but
to be fair, they are also part of some really fucking good single player campaigns.
Titanfall 2 campaign was amazing.
Titanfall and you can't say that the Call of Duty campaigns, like up until I want to say
Modern Warfare 2 was the last one that these guys actually worked on, right?
Yeah, so I want to say like all the ones that they worked on were pretty fucking good.
Modern Warfare 2 was the no Russian level that I would say is one of the most talked about levels in a video game ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean that's definitely true, but it is weird that you have BioWare, who's known for making amazing Star Wars single player games.
That's exactly my point, man.
Yeah, you have. I mean, it is kind of funny, but I am looking forward to.
And EA is the publisher for both of the publisher for, and it's like I don't know. I'm down for the studios trying new things and taking risks, but you got Bethesda making Fallout 76, and it's like why? And I don't know. I'd like to see.
Respawn's on a hot streak, though. Like they're definitely on a hot streak
for sure. Yeah. For sure. And I love that they're doing Apex, but if you look at the way that I think they were maybe not prepared. Obviously, it looks like they maybe weren't prepared for the success of Apex, because now they're having to push back other stuff to focus on Apex. I mean, people have looked at it different ways, right? So
I think people are just expecting every game to be updated as frequently as Fortnite is. And recently, we found out that people working on Fortnite have been working ridiculous hours, not being able to take weekends, feeling bad if they had to take just one day off a week. So these developers are being put into insane crunch times to put out content that fast. And players are seeing that as the standard of stuff coming out.
Yeah,
and
that's rough.
It's
not healthy.
Cannot be like that. No,
it's not sustainable. It creates an implosion.
It's not.
Yeah, eventually
people will eventually leave.
Yeah, eventually the industry has a collapse, and people are like, "Oh, I didn't realize it could get this bad. I want some content." And then
and I think that hurts the community as a whole, because I can tell you from my perspective as in public school system, if you don't pay your employees and treat them well, the quality people you need no longer arrive.
Yeah.
And if you have high quality artists, developers, coders, programmers, all these people that are easily gobbled up by the talent from these communities, from these industries, are easily gobbled up by Silicon Valley or working in other industries, there's 1,000 jobs they could take. And if these developers don't make these jobs in something that people want to have and feel respected, and the passion they have for video games is not going to carry them through a career, they're going to leave.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and that hurts all of us. I want to play really awesome games.
Yep, same.
I'm really a big fan of mediocre.
Yeah.
I like half-baked nonsense that makes me really irritated when I play it.
Hell yeah. What am I supposed to complain about if everything's good?
Seriously, what do I make a video?
I'm going to make clickbait videos if everything is good, guys. Jesus.
Damn it.
Come on,
you guys get your shit together and start screwing up. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's I don't know where we were. Like this conversation is just like organically going some places.
We were talking about Borderlands, then it went to.
We're talking about Borderlands. Hey, how's this for a segue? In the TWAB, they said they're nerfing Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten.
Damn, that's a good segue.
What? It's more like
turning them into 150 RPM hand cannon.
They're changing it. They're basically changing the identity of the hand cannon.
Yeah.
But can we talk about what they're doing, and then we'll insert our opinions, right?
Yes. Okay. Let me read it exactly, because it's like a magic card. You read the card, you understand what it's saying. So I'm going to read exactly what it is, and it actually makes sense as long as you just listen.
Read
just,
it.
Just fucking listen. Listen. Our current
Wait,
plan is to make.
Wait, what?
Okay, you're talking. That's not listening. Shut
What?
the fuck up and listen.
What are we doing? Not Forgotten got nerfed? Oh my god.
Wait a second. Do I get my Luna's Howl still?
Nick, if you could just like mute them eternally for the rest of the podcast, that'd be great.
An
Thank you.
eternal mute? You can't cast eternal
I
mute?
spent so much time grinding for this. How can they do this to me?
All right. Let's hear Holtz out. I think that's a good idea. Let's hear Holtz out.
Our current plan is to make Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten the only 150 RPM precision hand cannons. They will maintain some aspects of their current behavior while taking on the firing speed and damage of the 150 RPM hand cannons. Magnificent Howl will also be adjusted so that it increases only body shot damage, resulting in a 2 headshot, 1 body shot kill. Magnificent Howl will still give an advantage due to requiring less precision hits for optimal time to kill. Okay. So, my first immediate thing when I read that was, holy shit, if I play on console, that is going to mean it's going to be horrible because it's a 150 RPM isn't a 180 RPM hand cannon. No. They are keeping it a precision frame hand cannon. So, it will still lack bloom like other 180 RPM hand cannons have. So you will have the benefits of a 180 RPM hand cannon.
Right.
And it will just fire slower. That is the easiest way to think about this. It is still that archetype of hand cannon that's basically the only fucking viable one on console because bloom, but it just fires slower. Magnificent Howl, the perk, will still proc
That was
on 2
magnificent.
headshots, but it will not increase your precision shot damage. It will only increase body shot damage. The benefit of that means that the 150 RPM rate of fire damage type hand cannons normally take 3 headshots to kill. They cannot kill in 2 headshots in one body. So the benefit of Magnificent Howl now will be that you can basically hit 2 headshots and then hit a body shot for the final blow. Okay. I have explained it as neutrally as I can. Now let's fucking rage. Okay.
Did anybody see
I
this
don't-
coming?
Yes.
Yes.
I saw a nerf coming for sure.
Whoa.
Yep.
An archetype change, though? Archetype change is huge.
Not an archetype.
Okay. The
A
general
nerf, yeah.
Wow. They are probably going to nerf this in some way. In this specific way, I didn't see. This one
That's a
came out of
big
left
change.
field.
This is new.
Yeah,
one.
that's
This
a
is
big change.
Is there a precedent for them to change a gun like this?
Yes. Well, not,
Yeah.
they've changed they've taken a weapon and then just like shoved it into another archetype back in like D1 and
Yeah, I'm trying
kind
to,
of
which one? I'm trying to remember.
It was the pulse rifle from Strikes.
That's right.
Hopscotch
right.
Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Hopscotch Pilgrim. There we go. Because
That
it
was
was fucking little laser
great.
god tier weapon, and so they just nerfed it. And I think it kind of has been done in D2, but I can't remember if that was like. Actually, it was done in the opposite way. Like they made
So
a
they're
weapon.
they're just going after these 2 hand cannons.
Yes.
And
And they remain precision frames. It doesn't affect the other 150 hand cannons at all.
Which.
so can we talk about we all thought there was going to be a nerf to it, right? Or at least some sort of adjustment.
There'd
to,
been enough rumblings where it was clear that something had to give. Bungie was going to do something. Right?
Now, if Watts, you're a PvP, Patrick. You guys are good PvP, great. Dare I say, amazing PvP players.
They took away my Drex promise. I'm really bad.
Okay. What's your take on this?
Pat?
Okay, so I do agree with the sentiment that Luna's Howl Not Forgotten needed to be toned down some. I feel that this is a greater issue on console where 180 RPM hand cannons are kind of the end all be all PvP primary, mainly because other hand cannons have bloom, which is that when you are aiming down sight or hip firing, your accuracy decreases as you fire. you have to let your hand cannon rest. So you can clearly be aiming at someone, pull the trigger, and Bloom, a mechanic that you can't really tell is happening, will just say you get to miss sometimes. It feels really bad. And 180 RPM hand cannons don't have that, which is why those basically always are used on console. So, logically, you're going to use the 180 RPM hand cannon that has the greatest benefit,
Right.
to it, which is Luna's Howl Not Forgotten. They can kill in 3 shots instead of just
instead of 4.
4. So that's why those see such a huge spike in usage on console. They also have a very generous aim assist.
They're dominant
very easy
on
to
console.
use.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. On PC, not so much. You see a lot more variety. Yes, at the higher ends of PvP, you're still going to see, the same stuff for the most part, but I think on PC, like in the broader spectrum, you're not seeing like that same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say, as far as this specific nerf goes, it's really odd to me because 150 RPM hand cannons kill in 3 shots. That's just what they do. You hit 3 headshots, you're good. Saying, hey, you can hit 2 headshots in a body shot now, it keeps the time to kill the same. A pinnacle weapon doesn't have to change its time to kill, I feel like, through neutral play. But this type of change just makes the weapon, I was saying this earlier, whatever, this probably sounds weird. It doesn't sound sexy, okay? Magnificent Howl.
Less pinnacle?
It doesn't feel like a pinnacle weapon. Also, this may be beside the point, but one thing I really liked about Not Forgotten in the Luna's Howl was that the perk worked exceedingly well in PvE. Because, hey, you need to shoot a tankier mob, land those 2 crits, and boom, you can deal some solid damage in PvE.
Shouldn't that still work in PvE?
No.
You have to hit bodies.
It only increases body shot damage, does not increase precision damage. This would be a really great time to see. This would be a really great time to see some of that other pinnacle weapon balancing that we've had come in, where it's like in PvE and PvP, like Recluse in PvP, everything does 25 damage when the perk is active. Great. In PvE, however, holy shit, your precision damage is going to go up and your body shot damage.
Why didn't they go ahead and you can almost hear that being a change in the future, right? Like it's
you keep cutting out.
Yeah, you cut out pretty bad.
It seems like something that's something they could have anticipated in the future and adjusted it in that way.
I still feel like there might be time to adjust it, because keep in mind this is coming in Season of Opulence. We don't know. We don't have an exact date for that, but there might still be time.
So I got time to cancel my recuv for my Not Forgotten, right?
Yeah.
Thank God. I was sweating that $1,000.
Man, some people are gonna have a hard time paying their rent this coming soon.
Well, people are only going to be going for that 2,100 to get Recluse now, which people are. This is one of the things that happens when you keep nerfing stuff, and they're like, all right, this thing's going to be next. Everyone's going to be like, all right, Recluse is up next.
I really hope they don't the Recluse. The Recluse is fun in PvE, and it's
so fun in PvE.
It's fun in PvE, and I really hope they don't touch it. It's another one of those examples where I'm like, God, man, I hate to be like, I hate it when it puts us against the community when it's PvP versus PvE, and it just feels like trash when I'm like, feel like I'm looking at PvP players complain about a gun, and I'm like, can you just not? Because when they listen to you, they hurt me, and so I don't know.
So when I read this part, I think one of the first things I basically said was, man, aside from just a really long pause, because this entire change was like, wow, this is not the direction I thought they were going to take with this.
It's surprising.
It's really odd. We've never really seen anything like that. So, I mean, they're trying something new. That's for damn sure.
It feels like the type of solution that's like, oh, we can't fix this in this sandbox.
It feels like it's like, we can't make this I don't know. I don't know. It definitely is a interesting change, for lack of a better word. But
I'm glad they're doing something because I really would love their. I hear when I play with PvP players, you know, I recently went and played and got my Recluse done because I really wanted it, and I got a group of Slayers together, and they were all rocking the same loadout, right?
Mhm.
And I'm just, are you really that in love with those guns, or is that really what's viable right now? And they're like, well, it's the most optimal for PvP, so that's what we're gonna play. Would you want to try something else? Oh yeah, I really love, you know, using pulse rifles, or I really love doing this or that or the other thing, but they can't really dip into those.
Mhm.
So I feel like another solution in this is not necessarily to nerf the guns, but to rotate the meta more often. And you know, we're in a these changes should be shifting us to go through, you know, making powerful guns that are coming out of the pulse rifle range or the scout rifle. When is the last time we had a legitimate meta shift, and why aren't we seeing that coming out instead of handling hand cannons in this
It's
way?
like that's
When
been
is the last time we had a real meta shift?
Forsaken, right?
It's been a
Forsaken
long-
Forsaken
yeah.
patch.
This is like
Well,
the
it's been
dominant theme
Like
of
6 months.
Oh, because yeah.
well, this is the dominant theme. We think, okay, they're gonna have more time to be able to make these changes. You know, Destiny 2 is like, you probably bring it up every time. Like, Destiny 2 is touted to be the place where they'll be able to change these metas easily, and then fast forward, it's like, guys, Destiny 3, they're gonna be able to change these metas. It's too bad.
I don't know. I really feel like you could solve a lot of these issues on console specifically by, you know, not. I'll
Removing
say
Bloom?
remove Bloom, because that seems to be the biggest thorn in people's sides when
A
using
lot of
hand
the weapons just feel so the hand cannons just feel really inconsistent
Mhm.
when you're on console. You know, Ace of Spades is such a fantastic feeling gun on
Mhm.
PC. You use it on
It's
console and it
garbage.
just feels so inconsistent. So many of
Mhm.
them do.
Hmm.
None of the guns feel like they did in D1, where they had that crispiness and it felt like you were using a powerful hand cannon. It feels like I'm using something that sometimes it's going to hit, sometimes it's not going to. And that's why everyone started using 180s, and then they brought out the 180 to use.
That just
Every week I put together the Twitter questions, and every week there's a question about hand cannons specifically on console. Like when are they going to fix Bloom on hand cannons? When are they going to fix hand cannons on console? Like, to me, this has been a known issue since the game released, and it's not been addressed at all. The game doesn't feel intrinsically as good as the last one did. Destiny 2 doesn't feel as good as Destiny 1 did on console because the guns aren't as much fun to play with. Like,
They're just
I feel like
they
that's
don't
a
have that
accepted
crispy
fact.
feeling.
and
Yeah,
that's
they do
Yeah.
not have that crispy feeling. You remember in D1,
Absolutely.
basically all the hand cannons felt crispy. They felt like if you had that good aim, your shots were going to go where you were aiming them. And there's a very small amount of hand cannons that feel good.
Well,
So,
and-
I don't
and
the
answer that
reason-
question every week,
the,
but
the reason for this, again, we don't know this 100%, but I'm assuming that is they didn't want to have such a high skill gap when it came to PvP. So they'd rather have Bloom and RNG in there with the bullets. Is that what we're assuming is the reason why so much Bloom is in all these guns on the console?
I feel like that's what they said. But they said that during year one, and I feel like the philosophy has to have changed.
Yeah.
Because the flip side of it's worse. You know, having it's the Not Forgottens and the Lunas that have those accuracies because that's the only
Right.
ones that will hit. So
Yeah.
it's like it's already it's cut off for the average player to be able to get those initially to have that crispy feeling hand cannon. So a lot of people are just like, it's not worth it. Move on to something else that feels better. They just need to make everything feel usable from an aim perspective, not Bloom. You know, take out that Bloom.
That's difficult. That's a difficult position to be in. And
right, but your Ace of Spades should hit, right?
Right, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm also we're focusing on hand cannons because it's the easiest one to measure, I think, accuracy and those kind of things. But this is also prevalent in one of my favorite guns to use or archetypes to use is auto rifles. I used to use auto rifles all the time in Destiny 1. I loved it. and I haven't really found one that really feels good to use. There are a few out there that feel good for Destiny 2, but there aren't any that feel amazing like in Destiny 1. And so, maybe some of the changes to Suros regime, some of the Forge auto rifles. There's a few that have come out that are pretty good, but they're good because they have a combination of perks that provide amazing damage output and extended clips. And they're good because of those things, right? The perks that allow them to be very efficient in killing things and getting damage and those kind of things. But what we're talking about is the feel of the gun.
Yeah.
And to my point, auto rifles don't feel the same or feel as good as D1. And they don't feel as satisfying to use.
So it's like across the board, lots of guns on console, just not as tight and crispy
not
feeling.
as crispy. Yeah.
Like you remember year one of Destiny 1, and that when you got I'm forgetting about the name. What's the raid hand cannon?
Fatebringer.
Fatebringer. How did I forget Fatebringer? Jesus, it's been a while, guys. I'm so
we
sorry.
got shame Tufty for this one.
Shame away. I'll take it. All right.
Shame bells, please. Shame.
When you got that thing, that had like a 90% lock-on factor. Like you point it towards the head of anything in PvE, it hits.
Was so nice.
Explosions. And when it missed, you're like, oh, weird, it missed. Must have gotten flinched or something. Explosions. Completely different feeling. Then they started moving away from that in as D1 moved on, and like it affects the gameplay. You want things to feel good.
Turns out that having a good amount of aim assist actually makes the guns feel nice. As much as people complain like, oh, Destiny has such high aim assist, that's why everything feels so damn good. Because
you're not as good as you think you are with sticks.
I love that argument. Like, I hate games with aim assist. I hate games with aim assist. But if you actually play a game that doesn't have any aim assist,
you wouldn't hit
on a controller.
How good does
terrible.
PUBG feel? How good does PUBG feel with controller?
You just try to shoot your own teammate sometime. There's no aim assist on your own teammate. It's hard.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, there are really. We need to get into what's going on with Destiny 2. Like we talked about the nerfs, right?
Yeah.
We gave our opinions of those. Let's talk about the Revelry.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
Right.
I played it for
you
the
guys
first
were gone, right?
time. I played it a little bit today. Well, I did the forest, which was
the verdant forest. Yep.
I don't know. I'm going to seem like a downer. I see why people like it. I absolutely do see why people like it. It is a true horde mode type thing where you can just go basically endlessly.
You can be the downer. I'll be the upper. How
yeah,
about that?
Yeah, that's fine. But personally, I don't really care about having an activity where I can just go in and kill stuff endlessly. We have enough of those. We have so many of those. Almost every activity. Yes.
An endless one? We don't have an endless one.
Not endless, but for all intents and purposes, yeah.
I mean, everything you are killing stuff in.
Yeah,
that's
like you're just killing a ton of shit.
So as far as the act, let me frame it from my perspective, because I got to play it for the first time on Sunday, and I put in about 4 hours of playing, and I felt like the gameplay loop for that activity was a lot of fun. Okay. And I could see how it would get old if you put in a lot of time into it. But for me, during that time period, I felt rewarded. I got some cool loot. I was kind of bummed to see it was a reskin of an old armor set, but whatever, I got over that. But I started playing. I started playing, and I found the competition of getting to further levels. It started to remind me of how I felt when I was playing zombies. And okay, so we got to level 25. All right, so how are we going to get higher? Let's start to coordinate our our supers and our abilities and start calling out, and we started to maximize, and we got it to level 45, and then like, okay, so how do we get even further? What combination of characters? So it reminded me of the bridge from the bridge encounter.
Crota.
Anyway, right. So you're just trying to not from Crota, but from
Reckoning?
Yeah.
The new one?
From Reckoning.
Yeah.
Yes. So that you're in this fight, and you've got to coordinate your abilities to get past these waves of enemies, right? And then you're trying to be as efficient as possible to get through it, and there's a reward at the end of it. I felt like the aesthetics of it were really beautiful. It's nice to be in there when it's cheery and not like some dungeon. I like the economy of it. You get these what are they coins,
essences,
or these essences, and then you use that to either buy mods that will buff up your grenade, or which is insane right now. I mean, I felt like it was just a shitload of fun. I mean, I didn't play any PvP because everybody in my chat was telling me stay the hell away from it.
It's a silly place right now.
Right.
It's just basically like extra mayhem.
Right.
It's very specific, tailored mayhem. It's like, you know what I wish? I wish I could take all the benefits that I would normally get and just put it into my class ability and eternally dodge on my hunter. It's just my dodge is always up and I'm always invisible. And you're always blind because I have Gemini Jester. Fuck you.
I do wish they had made those abilities only applicable to PvE. But I'm with you, Pope. I actually like the event quite a bit. The improvement I'd like to see the most in it is to make it more difficult the further you get.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's my biggest complaint.
I think once they, like, you can see this horde mode kind of evolving over time, right? We saw it a little bit with, the original release of Curse of Osiris. Then they brought it back with, in the fall event, and now it's back a third time.
Right.
I don't necessarily want to see it a fourth time. I don't think it plays that well. If they release this for the fourth time and they just add more difficulty, but if their next version of a horde mode, like they're learning lessons from this, and we get a new area or something, like I see that they are on the path to a really good horde mode. But I do like the Verdant Forest. I have fun there. I'm not playing it a ton, but the amount of time I have put into it, I had a fairly enjoyable time.
Yeah,
and I like that there's matchmaking in there. It's it's not. I think that the scalability of it being more difficult as it moves on is just to me that I agree was the only missing factor for me.
Yeah. I like the bosses at the end. I like that when you beat the bosses, like there's kind of this like loot explosion that happens from the chests. Like it's cool. It's a cool event. I think it's almost there for a really good horde mode. Like it's getting close.
It's getting
but
there.
At the same time, like I feel like they've just about used up the Infinite Forest.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like if
that's where I want to see it again.
Like if they took everything and brought it back with scaling difficulty as you got higher and higher, then I'd just be like, really? Again? Like no new tiles?
They need to have loot associated with it.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to, it gets harder, and then the more you complete, the harder it gets, the better loot you get.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the only way that you can get enhanced perks on the armor or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but without the loot there, unfortunately, a lot of things in games like Destiny just end up being not super fun to play over and over again.
It seems like the interesting armor is coming from Eververse, no?
I mean,
right. So for this activity, so what's dropping? What's new with this is an armor set that is a reskin, and then what's newly designed is an Eververse armor set, and I feel like that maybe is the opposite of what
fundamental flaw of the design process.
It shouldn't be that way. You should be having the activity generate the.
Is that the design process or the accounting process?
I don't know, man.
Right.
I think that's. At the end, I'm getting a piece of armor that's a reskin, and I'm like, okay, it looks kind of cool, but it's not my favorite armor set anyway. I don't think anybody who ever had a Titan. Well, maybe there's some people that thought that was cool looking armor, but there was if they were like, I feel like I gotta say this.
Do it, Pope.
If they were gonna do that, Tefty, if they were gonna reskin a past armor, there is like 3 or 4 different sets that I would have pulled out.
Yeah.
I mean, that one is.
I always come up against the problem of enhanced perks. Like, why am I going to use that armor if it's never going to have enhanced perks? Like, I'm just not.
Yep.
Yeah. But I like the activity. Totally dig it. I hate what it's doing to PvP. It's a short term. You know, they have already admitted that it's above what they expected. Is anybody going to do Iron Banana?
I might, because
Yeah.
there's that. They said they're taking away the Iron Burden, right? In a TWAB, they said they were taking that away, and there's an emblem for doing stuff, getting a lot of kills with Iron Burden.
How many?
Yeah,
And if you use
2,500.
Iron Burden
2,500.
away, then that is going to be a pretty exclusive emblem.
2,500
If you
kills.
average 25 kills a game, that's 100 games of Iron Banner.
So you're not getting it done this time. If you even, I mean, very
You
few,
have to.
if any. No, it carries over.
Oh, okay.
There's
So you're
one
going
more
to
Iron
be able to
Banner
do it.
in May,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you've
There's
got
one
you have
more.
two chances to get it. I know a reasonable amount of grinding. There is no way in God's green earth I'm going to get anywhere near that. So I'm not worried about it. But it is going to be cool to see the top tier players who grind a lot of Iron Banner being rewarded with something cool that can show that they have suffered through Iron Banner.
Is
It's
it
almost
better?
like I went to this. I went to the Grand Canyon and all I got was a stupid T-shirt, you know. And it's, I guess, if you're gonna go through something like that, right? I feel like you should have something cool to show for it. And I don't know if the player cards for me or what does it, but maybe for some people. But I really think that they need to double down on these ornaments. And then and I really am.
Yes.
I'm really kind of bummed out that the ornaments from this event, from the Revelry, go away. And that's
Yeah, I'm
not
sad
cool
about that.
because if you've been around and somebody's new to Destiny, say somebody comes in after the Revelry's over, comes in with this next, you know, expansion in September, and they're playing and they run into somebody in the tower that has one of these ornaments on or a unique piece of armor, it's dated, right? It's from a time period where you were able to. There's the way they treat armor here as something that doesn't carry over.
Yeah.
Really?
Ships do.
Something should.
A lot of people ask about like the Osiris ship that sometimes I rock and like,
Right.
whoa, where'd you get that?
Because those are unique, right?
Mhm.
So there should be other aspects like that. Like that carry over with your characters that you can bring with you. And I think these ornaments are one of those examples.
Ornaments for carrying over would be great.
Imagine if you had an Iron Banner, ornament, like a shield, a glowing shield that was on your back or something that showed that you got 2,500 kills in Iron Banner, man. That would be dope.
Yeah.
It would be.
That'd be cool.
How many people would grind for that? Like that's something that definitely on your character that shows that you've been able to do this thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Agreed. It's the reward system in general has a lot of these like big valleys and then like here's a reward and a small window for the reward to be somewhat useful. And like that whole progression system needs to have tiers to it and longer usefulness over the lifespan of the game.
And then they can't be selling something cooler in the Eververse store.
Yeah, the whole Eververse situation needs to be revamped because it's true. Every time, like the armor is almost always cooler that you can get in that
And
stuff.
you can get it. Like, I got a lot of opportunities to hit up Eververse, right?
Mhm.
They're pretty rewarding, and you go there and you hit your loot box, and you might get a piece of armor. And even in the limited amount of time I play, I got a decent amount of that Eververse armor set.
You proud of it? Are you proud of how you earned that armor? Are you?
Yeah,
Do you like show it
I know,
off in
Briar, I know.
because you were like the first one to get the Eververse set because you're so elite.
Yeah,
No,
so
nobody does that because it doesn't have anywhere near the same feel as when you got the Chatter White shader or the You know the
Chatterwhite. Remember that?
Yeah.
oh
I
yeah, I
do.
remember that. Like
Yeah.
that's the stuff you remember because you went through hell to get it, and then you had it, and it was super exclusive, and
Yep.
it felt cool to be walking around in it.
Glow.
Yep.
Ships, sparrows, and shaders all felt more exclusive in D1 because they had like these places where
They did. Yeah.
they were like, oh, you got that from it was a rare job to get that ship, you know? And here, like all the cool ones come out of Eververse.
But it is nice that they changed up the way Eververse rewards are. They are part of a knockout system.
Yeah.
So you're not
that's
going to
good.
get a double up.
Yep.
I did get my what's that exotic shotgun? The name escapes me. The with the fire out the front.
Oh, Lord of Wolves?
Lord of Wolves.
Yeah.
I did get the Lord of Wolves finally.
Nice.
Have you
Nice.
been using it?
From Zur.
Oh.
Zur gave it to
Huh. Yes, he did.
you?
Weird.
So you can get it outside the bounty from Spider?
Yeah, that's what I got it. I got it from Zur. So
Zur's been slipping these days, guys.
he's got some, you know, the exotics now that come out of that engram. What is it?
Faded Engram.
The faded engram. You get some cool stuff out of there now. And so I got the Lord of Wolves, and hey, it is phenomenal. Tons of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I like to hold it out as an intimidation and then chuck
Sure.
infinite knives at my enemies. Be like,
Oh, sure.
Nice.
You're
like,
holding it,
I
but
got
you
a
don't
fiery
use
demon shotgun. What you gonna do? Knife to the face.
Lord of Wolves
Knife
is
to the
amazing.
it.
It's fun. It's a good intimidation.
I
weapon.
love Lord of Wolves.
Oh, man. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm looking to playing the Revelry. How many? We've got one more week of it.
Yeah, pretty sure one more week, right? Then it goes away.
Yeah,
So,
I think so.
you know, I'll probably grind out. I'll probably get. I'm trying to shoot for that exotic. It's the exotic.
Arbalest?
What's that fusion? The Arbalest.
Yeah. Arbalest is
Oh
actually
yeah,
really cool.
I should probably get that. I need to get that.
Yeah. You can shoot through Hydra shields.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, hey, Tefty. So Time Splitter just put it in chat, but I was playing on stream, and I walked up to Zur, and I was just joking around. Okay,
Got a
and I
Lord of
walked up
Wolves?
to him and I go, "Yeah, dude." I walked up and I said, "Okay, Squid Face, give me the Lord of Wolves.
Zing.
I want the Lord of
Man,
Wolves."
that's
And I went,
really offensive.
Yeah, man.
"Is it offensive? Is
Oh,
that
let me tell you, 2019 Twitter will not appreciate that comment.
Yeah, major faux
I
pas, dude.
apologize.
You might want to walk back
any
on that
other
one.
Squid Face people out there? I didn't mean it."
Oh, you said it again.
I mean, tentacle face people.
There you go.
I've been it's a side tangent. I've been having this conversation, this ongoing conversation with chat about what memes are going to come into Borderlands 3 because it's obviously very exciting. They always like tap into pop culture and things that are going on. And we were joking about how it'd be great if like Agent of the Eight shows up and it's like a squid and it's like selling trash, you know? Be
That would
great.
be good.
Mhm.
That would
Oh,
be
man,
great.
we need to
You
have
guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Sounds good.
Yeah, for audio listeners, you may not have heard Holtzman for a while. He is pooping. He told us in chat.
Yep.
So there's your Holtz
He's
update.
dropping some ramen.
Sometimes it takes a little time.
He's been gone.
He's
for a
been
while.
gone for like a half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I identify with that because I'm not a wham bam.
You can't rush that.
No, you got to like make sure you have proper time, a little bit of literature. You know, I bet he's just reading chat right now.
He
Okay,
is.
this reminds me
He's
of
also
something.
listening.
Tefty, I gotta bring this up, Briar. Before we get into Twitter questions, maybe this is a good segue.
Too
So-
important to skip over. I hear you.
Right. So, you know how there's bathroom stalls at places like at my work. There's a multi-use bathroom where there's urinals and stalls.
Yes.
So I go in there, right, and I'm going to sit down and do my business. But sometimes the business takes a little time, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I got
I
a plan
got
around the
myself-
business.
Right. I close the door, sit there, but there's one stall in this restroom and two urinals. And I sit down and I hear somebody when I first go in there, but I close the door and I assume that they've left, and I'm sitting there. Must be 20 minutes, maybe longer. And, I'm doing my business. I'm listening, no, I figure nobody else is in the bathroom. I haven't heard anybody for a long time. I finish up my business. My legs are starting to fall asleep. So I get up.
That's the cue.
Are they just like watching you over?
They
the top?
are outside of the urinal or outside in the restroom waiting for me.
Oh, shit. For 20 minutes?
In silence for 20 minutes.
Is this the only bathroom in the building?
No, it's not. And this is a completely silent bathroom. And I'm looking at this guy and he's a substitute teacher, right? And I'm looking at him like, were you listening to my grunting? Because, sometimes you got to go, you got to bear down a
put
little
some effort
bit.
into it. Yeah.
Right. And I just don't understand that. Like, at what point do you walk away?
Needless to say, that person's never coming back, right? That substitute.
Right.
They waited for me to
somewhere else, my friend.
They went in before I finished
Your days in Oakland are over.
Briar, before I finished washing my hands, right? The guy lines in there and is using it on the toilet. I was just in there. See, the
seat was still warm.
It was warm. It was hot. It had my body heat on it.
Wow. No phone tapping that you could hear. No, like maybe it's a message.
Nothing. The guy was just sitting there listening to me doing my business.
Dude, I'm poop shy. That would have really thrown my game off.
Yeah, that would have thrown my game off too. Yeah.
Knowing somebody was out there just watching me, I can't poop like that. I need a little bit of privacy.
Can't rush the poop.
It's not appropriate. I was just wondering if you guys would be aghast as I was.
I would be
absolutely.
I would be horrified. And again, if I was in your position, I'd be like, buddy.
Yeah.
What is
make
the
a coughing
deal?
sound or something. Make a noise.
Yeah.
The silent observer.
How long are you going to be in there? Because there's 18 other bathrooms in this school.
Thank you.
Yeah, wouldn't after like a couple minutes, they'd have been like, I better go to another bathroom or something.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah,
at
you'd
a certain
think
point,
so.
you go to another one.
Yeah.
Right?
You need a little help in there, dude?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Hey, what's what's the holdup?
Now, Pope, one question. This didn't happen to be a handicap stall, and he was the handy in a wheelchair.
No, it was not.
Oh, thank God.
That would have
Thank
changed the whole
God.
context of the story.
That would have flipped
Folks
it completely.
just chilling out in the only handicap stall.
Yeah.
in the whole
Taking his entire clothes off, just stretching out, just like.
Well, yeah, I got to take my tie off and put it up on the thing. I got to, pace out the, there's no.
The shoes are coming off.
Yeah, you got to do you take your pants off? You hang up on, crease them, put them up on the thing.
Get all comfortable. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is my worst nightmare when I take my shoes off in a public bathroom.
Yeah, I gotta say that sounds pretty bad.
You don't take galoshes in here with you?
You don't bring your own personal poop
rubbers?
slippers?
Yeah, like some Crocs, a pair of Crocs or
Public
something.
poop slippers? Yeah.
I mean, are we Neanderthals here? Come on.
I do like Crocs.
Thank you. You got to take your Crocs with you. Take off your
Briar,
shoes,
there was a really fancy Croc store in Pan
What?
that had all different
There's no such thing
variations
as a
of colors
fancy
and
Croc
sizes.
store.
Oh, they looked good.
Anime Croc store.
Yep.
Whoa.
They were pretty
Crocs.
fantastic.
Crocame.
Crocame.
Yeah. Hey, look who's back just now as we end the poop conversation.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
you're
had a whole
muted.
You're muted.
About,
Speaking
Probably
of
because you were
turds.
grunting and
I started the habit of muting myself when I walk away, just in case I.
Speaking of grunting noises.
Yep. Hey, Briar, let's jump into those Twitter questions.
All right. First question is from Wayfarer Rhino, who says, this question is for Miss 5000 Watts and Holtzman specifically. Will you promise to never leave us alone with Teft, Briar Rabbit, and Pope Bear again?
Yeah,
I will make
was
no
it
such
terrible?
promise.
Come on.
I'm okay. I'm gonna be completely real with everyone here. I'm on the razor's edge of just leaving
Quitting.
the podcast every single week. I tolerate everyone on this podcast, me included, for about 3 hours in total. So
Okay, got it for you.
you know,
What you need? You need to have a box of Snicker bars right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you're feeling that way, just eat a Snickers.
Yep. Just eat a Snickers.
Yeah.
Is it because he's hungry though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
see, that's not a
You
hunger
think he's
thing.
hangry?
That's not a
He's
hunger
not.
thing. It's I'm a little perturbed, and a Snickers would change my general mood type of thing.
Yes.
You know,
In 6 months, Holtzman weighs 600 pounds.
one Snickers a week.
No, every time it's like a drinking game, but with Snickers. Every time someone on the podcast irritates him, he takes a bite.
Oh,
Well, then he could move to
Constantly eating.
Japan and work at the Thick Maid Cafe.
there's a Thick Maid Cafe too.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a
Whoa.
Ninja Cafe too, but it's just empty. No one
Are they
serves
sexy
you.
ninjas?
Nobody serves you.
And no one serves you.
Of course.
You said it's just an empty room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lumi says, "What is hands down a must-see/do in Japan?"
It really depends what you're into, because if you're into like really beautiful scenery, you want to go to Kyoto because that place is gorgeous, and just go everywhere because everywhere is beautiful.
Yeah.
If
Kyoto
you-
is like nestled in between just all these fucking mountains everywhere.
It's
So
beautiful.
yeah, you just all you have to do is go
Um,
outside the city.
I would say for most of our viewers and listeners and friends, you definitely want to go to Akihabara if you're into games, electronics, anime, anything to do with electrical goodness.
Mhm.
Hello, Tobias.
There's a cat in front of Watts right now. I'm not sure your cat misses you. Very happy at home.
So yeah, I would say that most people who are listening and watching would have a blast there. Because even if you're not into anime, there's still a bunch of super old video game stuff. You can find really old, even toys. There's a place where you can go and check out super old toys that you can't get anymore.
Oh, what was the name of that place?
Mandarake. Or as we said
There we go.
for Patrick to remember it, Mandrake. Mandrake.
Manda Drake. Manda Drake was sweet. I found like a movie replica of Deckard's pistol from Blade Runner.
Deckard Cain?
Who is Harrison Ford's character? Yeah.
I
Anyway.
can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name right now.
Hefty doesn't know.
tired.
He's just
I'm
making
tired.
it up.
No,
It was
Deckard Cain's from Diablo 3.
Yeah.
But Blade Runner.
Yeah,
I forget what his
right.
name is, but
Yeah.
even though I really like the movie.
What about you, Pat? What would be a must?
A must see. Yeah, it really depends on what you're into. Like if you want,
You know
if you
Lumi.
want
Let's
history.
go.
I mean, I know Lumi, but
All right. So the question's from Lumi.
It's Rick Deckard.
What should
Wow.
Lumi go see?
what should Lumi go see? I mean, I feel like Lumi would be like, I don't know. I feel like he's pretty chill. I feel like he would like Kyoto a lot.
I feel like he'd like the Frenchy the sexy French maids.
Yeah.
The Frenchy
Yeah.
sex maids.
We could just take him on a tour of all the main cafes.
The Hooters,
We could.
not Hooters, definitely not a strip club, but might be
Right.
feeling like a
No.
strip club type of thing.
Look, if
Definitely
okay, the
If you
rule
went,
the rule
if you went
is
to one a day, Patrick, how many days would it take you to go to the different types of cafes they have? Would you be there?
Are
for
we
a month?
counting butler cafes too?
any
Yeah.
any themed cafe in
Animal
Japan?
cafes?
Animal cafes?
Yeah, you want to
yes.
go to an owl cafe?
Oh,
you want
gee.
to go to a puppy
Those
cafe?
are all
You
would
want to
be
go
different days, right?
The Gundam
I'm
cafe?
sorry, they have
Cafe?
free range birds and food in the same place.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, sir.
All right.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Like you're going to be there forever. Like I
yeah,
don't think
you're
there's an
not
exact
leaving.
answer.
Yeah,
Because there's
that's,
new
that's
opening
kind of
up.
like going to
A couple years,
That's-
3 years
yeah,
maybe.
that's like going to
years.
San Francisco and trying to eat at every cafe that's there, like one a
Well,
day.
no, this is a very specific thing, a themed cafe.
But most stuff's themed. A lot of things.
That
are
seems like
themed.
their
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
They're very themed.
That's what I
One
want.
tip I could give, the Tokyo Sky Tree is very tall. It's very nice to go to the top and get a good view of Tokyo, see everything.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
it's super busy and it costs money. Now there is a place that you can get to from Asakusa that is called the Beer Building, which you might want to go there. Just
Briar, this sounds like your
it's
alley.
free to go up to the top, and then you can just pay for either beer or coffee or
Do
whatever.
you have to drink
But
your
you
way
get-
down?
You can if you want to.
No,
Puke over the side.
Procedurally
No, Brian,
generated
you-
building with beer
It's-
every level.
it's free to get to both the top and bottom, but
Yep.
if you want to stay at the top, you have to keep drinking beer.
Wow. Yikes.
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
There's
Oh,
like a glass of beer on every floor.
Yeah.
Briar, I feel like there's this one thing there that you would definitely like. For a lot of places, like depending on what you're doing, you can just like pay a flat fee, and it's however much you can drink for that time period.
Yep.
That sounds very dangerous.
That
So
is very.
you
It's a
guys
very common
posted
thing.
something about
Huh.
sake and
Yeah.
plum wine, or there was that tweet you guys put out. All you can drink sake. I feel like I would get in trouble because I
Same.
really like sake.
I can
Yeah,
see
you can
myself
get all
getting
you can drink
real
sake.
dangerous
Yeah,
in there.
one of the dinners that we went to, like I think it was the first full day we were there. Yeah, we met with a friend who was in Japan, and then he was like, "It's all you can drink for 2 hours. Go."
Sprint.
Is this a dare? What?
Just go. All you can drink, 2 hours.
Wow.
That sounds amazing though. Like,
That sounds like college, you know? Like you get your Dixie cup, and until the keg's gone, you can drink as much as you want.
More or less, yeah.
honestly, it sounds like just a party where you're like, yeah, go get a
Yeah.
drink and you can
I
have
mean,
as much as you
yeah.
want.
At karaoke, it was like, would you like the normal drink package, which was like 1,600 yen,
Or the premium.
15, which is like $15, or do you want the premium package, which was 1,800 yen? So like,
Wait,
So
it's
I wanna
pay
$15
two extra
for all you can
bucks?
drink?
yeah,
All you can drink.
for all you can drink. And this included like liquor and spirits.
It includes whiskey, vodka stuff. Like,
Guys, I gotta get off this podcast so I can.
Yeah.
You got to catch that plane. Got to catch that plane,
Briar
bro.
and I are heading to
Yeah.
Tokyo. We never make
It was,
it.
sounds
it was,
awesome.
it was great. It was great.
yep.
Lance Tracy says, I have a question. Should Destiny 3 be on next gen and PC only, or should they include the old gen and hamstring the possibilities like D1?
How
A fairly weighted question.
how about they figure out a way not to hamstring the possibilities and include it on old, like, first gen or this gen and next gen? Because
Yeah, to be clear, I think he means like next gen being PS5 and the next version
Yeah.
of Xbox, and current gen being the PS4 and Xbox One.
Well, I feel like they've been developing D3 for a while.
Yeah,
I
and it's
don't want them
current
to-
gen.
I don't want them to get into a situation where like the same thing that happened with Destiny and Xbox 360 or versus Xbox One and PlayStation 3 versus PlayStation 4 and how they had to adjust. We're assuming that that's what happened. I don't know.
you know what they could do?
I feel what?
Since they're technically an indie company now, what if they just
Yeah.
released it on a retro console? So like PlayStation 1.
I'd like them to
Just
release
go
it on
backwards
Switch
like that.
so I can play it.
Yes. The new
I would
indie
be
store.
down for that.
Oh, I
Switch
cannot
exclusive.
wait. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, let's go grind a legend and comp off the mobile Wi-Fi.
Dial-up.
Why not?
I love the Nintendo Switch, and I wouldn't probably play it for hardcore PvP stuff. But if I was just grinding like planetary materials, it'd be perfect for that.
I mean,
Oh,
cross save, bring it out everywhere.
If Destiny 3 doesn't have cross save, I'm gonna throw a shit fit on this podcast. I'm just saying, it's gonna be multiple podcasts long.
I'm you know what? I'm gonna put it out there that we're gonna see cross save before this game's done.
Before Destiny
Yeah.
2's done?
Mm-hmm.
I would be shocked.
Yeah,
I've been dying
will-
on that hill as well. I don't die on that.
I will tell you, Briar Watts and I will take any bets right now on that. I think that they have to make a statement, and I think that they can turn around and bring a bunch of people back in. They have to incentivize their audience, the core audience, coming back, and it just seems like the perfect way to do that is to announce it for their next. If maybe it's just the kid inside of me, but hey, this next DLC, this next thing that comes out, the next big thing for Destiny 2 shows off that they can do this, makes us all one big community, and then bam, we play that until we get D3.
I think Sony's going to come in and be like, "Nah, fam."
Well, I think they pull a freaking Fortnite and go, I know our population isn't as big as the Fortnite population, but if they got away with it, I think we can too. Pressure Sony to
I
give
feel
that
like-
shit up.
This is pure speculation, but I feel like the actual contract is linked to the title Destiny 2 and the lifespan of that. And I really hope that the future of the franchise, Destiny 3 or whatever it's called, isn't tied to any preconceived contracts that they made with Activision and Sony. So it does have the ability to potentially have cross save or cross play with PC and whatever platform that it might possibly be on. Because man,
cross save would be amazing. Cross play would be even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be, but definitely it would help a lot of people transition over to PCs that haven't made the jump for console players.
Or I could just play with people I haven't played with on PlayStation 4 forever.
So cool.
Because I don't want to grind another character up on PlayStation 4 or on Xbox. Like I can just oh, okay, you guys are playing on Xbox tonight? Awesome. I'll be there at 8, or
I had
PlayStation
friends
4.
that were looking for raid help, and I was like, dude, I'd get a team together for you, no problem. We were like talking about it, and then they're like, okay, here's my BNet ID number, and I'm like, I'm on PS4.
Wasn't there discussion? Like, wah, wah. Wasn't there a discussion of Borderlands 3 having crossplay in some degree?
Interesting.
If there was, I missed it.
I didn't read that.
I don't know if that's confirmed, and hopefully we'll find out next week if there's like some sort of cross situation going on with that game. But that'd be really nuts. I mean, if they did cross play with PC and Xbox, at least they're starting that, and Sony has to look from the sidelines being like, looks like you guys are having fun, but I don't care because I'm Sony. Screw you.
There's another game I'd love to see come to the Switch. Borderlands 3.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
With cross play or cross save or whatever.
Yeah. So if there is some rumor and it does become true that PC and Xbox get some sort of cross play thing, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'd be really psyched about that. Lance Tracy says a question I've already asked, and I'm going to ask the next question by Justin.
Thanks, Lance.
He said, being a Destiny 2 hipster, I still use Destiny 2 Year 1 gear. What Year 1 non-exotic weapons do you still rate, and which one would you like brought forward first?
What?
Effective weapons from Year 1. Which ones do you guys like?
All of Osiris's weapons. Those are so cool.
They are cool.
They look cool, yeah. There's a hand cannon.
It's still a good hand cannon. What is it called? I always forget the name of that one.
Yeah.
What even was this question? I zone out whenever I hear the words brought forward or brought into Destiny 2. I usually zone out when I hear that phrase.
What Destiny 2 Year 1 gear would you like to see? Or what do you like from Destiny 2 Year 1 that you still use? Really, is the question.
Ooh, Jack Queen King.
What is the name? Jack Queen Queen. That's what it was. Yeah, amazing. I like that. I never liked the recoil pattern as much as I liked it on the Midnight Coup.
Right. The Coup.
But I did like it.
Mm-hmm.
The Mananan is good, Tifty or Holtz. I agree. That's something that I still pull out every once in a while.
Mananan, yeah. I still have all 3 flavors saved.
Mm-hmm.
What was the submachine gun from the first Iron Banner? Can't remember the name of that one either. But I love that gun. I still use that gun.
Mm-hmm.
And submachine guns aren't that good. Hero's Burden. Yeah, I love that gun.
Okay. Let's see. Any Year 1. Gosh, man. I feel like there's all that effort to get them to be saved or viable, and then we deleted them all.
I don't know. Because, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe the Trials pulse rifle.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good pulse rifle.
Yeah.
Also looks really good.
Darkest Before.
Yeah.
No Rest for the Wicked says, let's talk about priorities. Do you think that quote, they are working on Destiny 3, unquote, excuses are viable at this point? Not trying to be negative, how can we move on to the next game before the current one is at 100%? Live games deserve the full attention of the studio.
Yeah.
This is a tricky question because I believe that No Rest for the Wicked is kind of reading things into what they're saying. I think a lot of people assume that they are working on Destiny 3 right now. I think that's a safe assumption. is that taken away from the development of Destiny 2 or the planned development of Destiny 2? Like, what was the plan for Destiny 2? Like, how can you say the game isn't at 100%?
See, the issue is whether or not the live service is changing and doing things. And if you look at it like that, it is. There's always something technically to do and go and chase for as each week kind of unfolds. It's just, is it the stuff that we as a majority of the community are interested in? And that's where it gets really sticky. So I feel like they're doing their job as a live service, and it is technically a live service. It's just not the live service that I thought was going to happen with Forsaken. I thought there was going to be a lot more gear that comes in, but it's just not set up that way. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's like okay to be like, well, they're working on Destiny 3.
I do want them focusing on Destiny 3 at this point, and I think the live team is going to be doing what the live team does. And I don't know. I don't want them putting a full studio's worth of time on a live game right now.
But then let's say Destiny 4 comes out or Destiny 3 comes out, and there's mixed reactions. So they just immediately start working on Destiny 4, and like Destiny 3 never gets realized the way that people want it to be? Or like, is this a cycle that never finishes itself?
That's the biggest thing. Is like, I want Destiny 3 or whatever the next one to be the Destiny that they make.
Yeah.
And then
Same.
they just focus on that, because I don't want to be collecting stuff in D3 thinking, well, it's going to get dumped next time in 3 years because Destiny 4 is coming out. Like, I don't want that. I want to feel like the stuff that I'm collecting is going to last as a relic in there. And yes, I know I can just jump into D1 and look at all the stuff that I had in there, but it's not the same when you can't just immediately pull it out when you're doing the latest raid as a joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to install Destiny 1 again, and you have to like...
Yeah, that's different. It's a different type of feeling. Like, it doesn't get the feel across as like, this is a collection that's growing in this looter shooter. Like, I want them... I really hope that they're like, with their newfound vision that's unhinged from Activision, they say that D3 is the Destiny that they've been wanting to make.
Yeah, I would like that a lot.
Rich says, with Destiny 2 being in a weird place right now, I often think about what made it special to me. What is a moment that blew you away and keeps you grinding? Much love and glad to have the crew back. Been an active listener since the Planet Destiny days. Thank you, Rich.
Oh,
Thanks, Rich.
thank you.
So he is talking specifically about Destiny 2 here, so he can't answer a Destiny 1 answer.
Mm-hmm.
What is a moment that blew you away and keeps you grinding?
I don't know if I can
I
link.
mean, the Shattered Throne blew me away.
Yeah.
That
that's
and
a good
also just
answer.
the Dreaming City.
I was going to say the same thing once. Dreaming City.
It's just things that they brought in Forsaken. I think every step along the way, I was just like, wow, really, like, you're doing this? It's still going. There's more happening. All right. Yeah, so I think that was something. Just all of Forsaken, honestly, sort of blew me away. Even the Barons. I wish they would reuse the Barons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really wish they would do that.
Like, each one had a weapon.
It just in general, getting a chance to yell at Patrick for things I didn't like in Forsaken. I mean, that was pretty high quality stuff there. Just blame it all on him, right?
Yeah, that was
You know,
nice.
he worked there, so during that time, so
We could all agree.
Oh, I do want to remind people that there is going to, because we didn't talk about this from the TWAB discussion, that there's going to be a Shattered Throne ride along,
Nice.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
which is this one I'm really excited for, because I think
Should be fun.
everyone in the community has said that they love Shattered Throne, and it's a new activity too that they've created. Right, it's not a raid, it's not a strike. So to hear how they came up with that and what it was like creating that, it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you say that that's like dungeon-esque?
Yes.
Is that what?
So they call it a dungeon?
Yes.
I feel like it's I did it solo for blind for the first time
Nice.
the other day, and man, was it an experience.
Yeah,
Holy
it's a cool piece of content.
Yeah.
Sure.
It really is. I wasn't able to complete it by myself, but it was a blast.
It's easily one of the best pieces of content that they made for Forsaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta just kind of agree with Watts here. I think the Dreaming City is some of the best content they've ever made.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to be in. Exploring it for the first 2-3 months was actually really fun. The first week
Still
was
finding stuff.
unbelievable. Yeah. The first week was unbelievable with all the hidden
Yeah.
stuff that was in there and the ways to unlock different things. Really, it was an amazing piece of content. I think it's the best content they ever made.
It's the
it was just
best,
fun to be there.
Yeah.
It's the best location I feel like they've ever made.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
also more than just the location, but the way it's designed and the secrets that are held within it, and then
Yeah, all of it.
the way you unlock things, everything about it is phenomenal.
Hmm.
And the fact that it's on this cycle that the curse that grows and it repeats itself, and it's something that, I something that really dawned on me the other day that really kind of blew me away is that how you're going through this cycle of talking to these Coruscants, or is that what they call themselves? Corsairs, sorry. And then they also are cognizant of the repeating
Mhm.
like loop that
Yeah.
you're in. I feel like something that's just these little details that are in there really kind of made me impressed at how much that world feels like it's changing. And here's an NPC that's saying, she's all despondent, like, not like it's going to change anything. We're going to be right back where we were.
Yeah.
She's all depressed that this is Groundhog Day, and the alarm bell rings, and you're waking up to the same thing happening over and over again, and she's losing her mind and going, just end it. But I don't know, stuff like that really impressed me.
If their primary focus is Destiny 3 at this point, I hope that what it is going to be like everything we learn from the from that DLC, and then like just amp it up to the max, right? It's just like much more hidden secrets, much bigger areas to explore. Like that is the coolest part of Destiny. It's why I fell in love with Destiny in the first place. Is in the original beta, loading into the Cosmodrome and just being like, oh man, like if we jump off of this cliff, there's like this hidden boss down here, this ogre that shoots you off the platform, and like there's all sorts of cool stuff hidden in the Cosmodrome.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that that's the kind of stuff that they really double down on for Destiny 3, but we'll see. That's what I kind of
I don't know. Coolest memory I think for D2 is probably Whisper of the Worm. Just
that's a
that
good
was
one.
a good one.
Yeah, Whisper's really good.
What was it about that, Patrick?
just like it's like holy shit, secrets, they're back. Like that's what when I played that for the first time. When I first played it, I'm like, man, there's like, what is this? Like just asking yourself, what is this? Like I hadn't asked myself that for the entirety of D2. Had asked it a lot in D1. Like when you encounter something, you're like, whoa, dude! I like the sense of exploration, the sense of finding something. I don't know. Whisper of the Worm kind of brought that back, and then that was the clarion call, so to speak. That then you found that a lot in Forsaken.
I feel like they're. Yep, go ahead.
The Forsaken DLC gets all the credit, but I feel like that Warmind DLC was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the story was underwhelming, but there was a ton of awesome shit in it.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's interesting thinking back, trying to like connect a grind and also an aha moment. Like, I don't know if I necessarily have those connected because I didn't really grind those technically really hard because my RNG has been really good. So I've gotten stuff.
I haven't needed to,
but I've really enjoyed. I enjoyed the grind of the Forge. I did. I know the Forge was not looked fondly upon the community. I really enjoyed that grind. I thought that was fun, but it wasn't like an aha type of moment.
Icon and Run David Run both asked questions about the Heavy as Death emblem and Iron Banner. I feel like we already went over it though, so I'm just skip by them.
I think I was in the bathroom for that, but yeah, man.
Kevin Dorsey asked, "Do y'all prefer full price games that come with paid DLCs or free to play titles with microtransactions?"
I don't give a shit. I like good games.
And do you think microtransactions are a reliable source of funds for future updates compared to paid DLC?
It completely
Depends what they're doing.
Depends on how it's executed and how they do it. Because there's really bad ways of doing it, and there's really good ways of doing it.
Yep, there's viable options on both of those, all those options.
Yep.
I do prefer buying a complete product and not feel like I'm getting nickel and dimed like over the course of time. Like there's something draining about that feeling to me when I'm constantly being asked for more money. Even if I spend, let's say I spend $100 on like the special edition of Destiny 2 and I play, Fortnite for 2,000 hours and spend $100 over the course of a year on skins and stuff. To me, psychologically, it's draining to constantly be asked to put more money into something, to constantly be reminded, hey, here's the store, here's where you put your money. Like, do you want this cool thing? Then you gotta, it's only $2. It's not like, it's the price of a cup of coffee. It's the same price to save a kid in Africa. It's really nothing.
Yeah.
It's draining to me to just be constantly reminded of microtransactions. I had that problem with Assassin's Creed Origins, or not Origins. What's the newest one?
It was Origins. Yeah.
Origins. Okay.
Right? No, Odyssey. My bad. Newest one is Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yep.
So in Odyssey, it's like you never have to buy any microtransactions in that game. You can have a full and complete experience in that game with never having paid a dime over what you paid to actually obtain the game. But every time you log into the game, every time you go to the menus, it's constantly reminding you, hey, this really cool armor set is over here.
Yeah.
Don't forget, don't forget, you could be earning experience, 50% faster if you just give us $15. And it's just draining to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'd much rather just pay $100 for something and get a complete experience.
Yeah. Like I said, there's good ways of doing it and there's bad ways of doing it. And then there's a bunch of in between that's like questionable. It could be in a really great game and it's like, why put that in there? Like Mortal Kombat's right now going through a whole bunch of microtransaction crap that
the last one did too.
Yeah. It's like,
I think PvP games can do pretty well being free to play because you are getting the game. You're just paying for cooler looking stuff, which people will pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Drag asks, who will each of you pick for your first run in Borderlands 3?
the Siren.
Yeah, I'm steering myself toward the Siren as well. Ultimately, though, I'll be better equipped to answer this question next week.
I was gonna say I'm gonna answer next week when you guys give me all the deets.
Yeah,
all the people.
I know nothing about anything, so fucking whichever one looks coolest on the title screen when I first buy it, probably.
We should probably mention that we're tentatively scheduling next week's podcast for Friday. We're not. I don't think we're positive we're going to do it yet, but me and Hefty are both going to be traveling.
Yep.
So
on Thursday.
And we're going to be wanting to talk about the Borderlands stuff.
Yeah. No, let's go ahead and call it.
Yeah. Okay. Friday.
All right. Friday.
Next podcast next week is on Friday. So we can talk about Borderlands with all of us.
Yep.
So that means everything will get delayed. The iTunes upload, everything will get delayed by a day. Obviously. Hawkeye says, what Japanese food that doesn't contain seafood do I need to seek out and eat?
Ramen. Katsu. Pork cutlet bowls, which Patrick was looking for the entire journey in Japan. There's probably most food. Well, there's a lot of food in Japan that does not have any seafood in it.
Yeah. I think I only had seafood like when we were on that like boat dinner.
Yeah.
Like that was the only time I think I ever actually had fish. Which feels kind of like I just suddenly had the epiphany of, oh shit, I was in Japan. I didn't eat any fucking sushi.
I had sushi. I didn't eat the fish, but I had they do a lot of really, really cool stuff in their sushi that is not fish or meat. So sushi actually ends up being one of the better places to go if you don't eat meat, which is
a lot of vegan options.
Yeah, especially at sushi because they do a lot of vegetable stuff.
Yeah, vegetable.
A lot of the super traditional stuff as well. Actually, is easy to eat. Or if you go live with monks, it's super easy because they're vegan. Because a monk's not going to eat reincarnated people. Anyway.
Reincarnated fish. People.
I don't feel like you guys would have such a problem.
We're having Briar sushi.
Briar, there we go.
I mean,
I hear he's vegan.
We've discussed eating briar before, but we haven't discussed how, like in what form.
Yeah, we have.
I think we were just taking off the leg and eating it as a big ass turkey leg.
Yeah.
Like you're at a fair, like a World's Fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
T-Mom
Turkey leg.
asks, "Hi guys, since Holton and Watts are back from the trip, what are some of the places you dream of visiting and the ones you've been to and loved?" So I think we've actually answered that before, but I don't know if we've answered what are your the places that you've been to and really love. Have we answered that before?
Don't think so. Besides Japan, because we just came back.
Yeah.
from Japan.
Yeah.
How'd you rephrase the question?
What's a place that you've been to and loved, like on a trip? For me, it's Ireland. I felt like Ireland was one of the most fun I've ever had in a single trip. I loved driving around in Ireland in a rental car. I loved the people that I met. I love stopping at
Irish pubs.
Yeah, I love stopping at pubs. I love the food. I was on a 2-week trip. 1 week was spent in London. 1 week was spent in Ireland. And coming out of London, going to Ireland, the food was actually way better. I don't know what was going on with London, but man, that food was not great.
Yeah, no, fucking English people suck at cooking.
I've heard about that, yeah.
Whoa.
I haven't tried.
Ireland was awesome.
I haven't been out of I haven't gone to Europe yet. I want to. We Memes and I did a trip where we started at Great Basin National Park in Nevada and circled all the way up to Arches in Utah and then came back down and ended went over to Hovenweep, which are Four Corners and all that, and ended at the Grand Canyon. It was 3 weeks of hiking. And that trip was amazing. That was 10 years ago.
That sounds amazing.
We've been reminiscing and wanting to do that again sometime. That was incredible.
I only saw the Grand Canyon. Well, I saw it when I was a kid, but I only saw it as an adult, actually on my honeymoon, and it was amazing. That is a truly impressive thing. And Arches National Park is outstanding.
Yeah, all those parks, man, because it's they all step down towards the Grand Canyon with all those geological features. So if you go we did, we went from Great Basin that we saw trees at the top of Great Basin that are 2,000 years old, something like that. I can't remember the name of them. I was really big into photography at the time. I took tons of photos, and it was an incredible trip. Yeah, did a lot of hiking. Love it.
That sounds amazing.
I think mine will probably be, besides Japan, would be Italy. When we first went to Italy, we stayed in a really small mountain village. So it took us, I think, about 3 hours to drive up this mountain. And it's everything that you would imagine in a tiny village in Europe. All of the roads are the cobble roads and the very, very small alleyways. So it was just beautiful up there. Weather was amazing. It was just a very beautiful place to be. And then also just going into all of even the little tiny churches that are just in the corner hidden away are just decorated so beautifully. So going into all of them and kind of experiencing that was really cool.
And they're 600 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a super into history. So knowing about the history of places and then standing in the same place that people were, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, some cases thousands of years ago, it's pretty crazy.
That sounds outstanding.
There's I've had a really great opportunity in my life to travel a lot of different places in the United States bicycle racing. And one place in particular, you go on rides you often the day before, and you're in this. That's the only time you really get to look around. And I remember I was in a race up in Colorado, and it's the day before, and we went out for a ride, and I was actually out by myself, and I put on some headphones, and I was just riding, not really paying attention, and I got up into the trees and into this mountain road that was coming up into the hills, and I realized at this one moment that I took off the music and I just started riding, and I felt in rhythm with nature around me. I feel like that connection there really made it special for me. So getting somewhere out, and it's funny how we all mentioned nature, but getting out somewhere where I could not hear anything other than, just birds and the sound of the wind and, my heartbeat. And it was just a spiritual moment for me. You crest through the tree line and you go above the tree line where there's just rocks. And, I looked over and I see the cloud line low over the mountains. And it's like you could just ride your bike right off the road onto these clouds. It just came out. And I don't know, it's a spiritual moment. I think that anywhere you can go and connect with nature, you should try.
Actually, I had a similar experience to that Pope when we were in Japan. We went to a shrine called Fushimi Inari Shrine, which people might know for being famous for having the big archways that you just walk through, like hundreds and hundreds of them. And it goes up really high. And on this day, it was raining quite heavily. And it was still very busy. But the further you go, the less people there are. So as we started getting towards the top, there was basically no one there. And because it was so rainy, there was just this mist kind of everywhere up there. It was dead silent, and you could just hear the raindrops because we had umbrellas, so you could hear the raindrops onto the umbrella. And that was a really awesome experience to get away from all the crowds and just be looking out onto Kyoto and seeing just this mist and hearing the rain was really cool.
I regret not going up there with you, and I really wish that like the first day my feet started hurting, I would have like just fucking been like, I need to just buy some new fucking shoes and find some immediately, because my feet were bothering me towards the later part of every single day. Yeah. And I feel like I missed out on some stuff.
That jacket is dope though.
Yeah, it's a dope jacket.
Jacket's awesome.
I can when you were talking about the rain, like it reminded me of something when I was younger. I used to go swimming. I was a lifeguard and I could let myself into the pool, and we'd go swimming. And in the desert, there's when it rains, it's movie rain. It's like deluge for like a week straight, and it's just crazy heavy rain. It's not, and it's just big globs that fall down and everything floods. But I remember I let myself into the pool and I went swimming, and no one's around. It's the middle of the night. I don't have my swimsuit on, but so I just took off my clothes and I jumped into the pool and I started going swimming. And I remember, the raindrops were hitting as I looked. I did a stroke and I looked across the pool, and there's no lane lines or anything, right? I could see the raindrops coming down and hitting. It's like the mirror image, a reverse end of the drop falling into the water, pushing about 1.5 inches into the water. Or 1 inch into the water and then coming back up. And as every stroke, I hear that sound that you're talking about off of the umbrellas.
Yeah.
I just, that's 30 years later. And I have that vivid memory. It's crazy.
Yeah. Rain makes some beautiful sounds.
Oh yeah.
Rain's great.
My wife likes to sleep with rain sounds and always makes me want to go to the bathroom.
I would love to take you to the top of the shrine when it's raining, Pat, Briar, and there's no toilets anyway.
Every
you're
time,
just like,
every time Briar's going to the bathroom too, he's got to get completely naked.
Hang up his socks on them.
You're gonna get us kicked out of the temple.
Well, I got my pooping Crocs on.
I gave you that idea.
Gallo says, "Who do you think will sit on the Iron Throne?
Ooh.
Who do you think is going to win the Iron Throne?"
The Iron Throne. Are we talking about Game of Thrones?
We are talking about Game of Thrones.
No
spoilers.
I want you to know that I do not watch at all any of the shows, and
I don't think that disqualifies you from answering.
It doesn't. You still pick someone.
I want the Starks.
Okay, but so there's two different questions really. Who do you want, and who do you think's going to win? Because everybody wants the Starks to win, but who do you think?
Or Daenerys.
Yeah. Okay.
Daenerys.
Well, they're okay.
I don't know. I don't even want to jump into that. I'm gonna abstain.
Yeah, I know too much.
I'm gonna see I want to see the White Walk dragon.
Bill.
There you go.
Bill the dragon.
Done.
Bill the dragon's gonna be on the throne.
I'm a huge Lannister fan. I really want to see the Lannisters win the whole thing.
Of course,
I
you are.
think
This is
they
why we're
would
Be
eating
a
you.
Lannister.
This is why we're eating, Briar.
They've put in the effort.
This is
They've
why
got
we're eating.
money.
sweat, and tears. They're funded.
Yeah. They're willing to do what it takes.
Yeah, they
If
can
that's
make the
pushing
tough
kids off of
decisions.
towers or whatever. Right. Like these are who you want ruling the Seven Kingdoms. I
There's
think
no
Lannister.
there's no limit on who you can have sex with.
I'm voting Lannister
So-
2019.
Yeah, I mean, if you
They're
like
very
your, if you like your
open-minded.
sister,
That's right. Very open-minded.
Open-minded.
hmm
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make any
Alright.
predictions. I know too much. I don't want to like spoil some stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
Lone Star RTA says, when will you be seeing Avengers Endgame, and will you guys be talking about the plot and thoughts in the weeks to come?
I'm going tomorrow, right in the afternoon. So that's when we could get tickets.
Nice.
Um,
I'm going
what happened?
Saturday at 1:00.
mine's
I
at
haven't-
1:00 also.
I haven't gotten tickets yet because I'm in the middle of moving. So, fuck.
I'm not gonna talk about. I don't know if I'll ever talk about the plot of that movie.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't do too
Leave
much
it
movie
alone.
stuff here.
Leave it alone.
Actually, there's about 170 Twitch streamers watching it as we speak. If I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit tempted to just, oh guys, the Wi-Fi was too bad at the hotel. I couldn't make it.
Oh, that's right. Tonight is your. They were taking you guys to. Day.
Oh snap!
Briar,
Wow.
you ditched that and came to us.
If I don't see that movie for the first time with my kids, like,
Okay,
I feel like
fair enough.
I'm cheating on them.
Yeah, my
That's
son, my son made me promise that I'd watch it with him. And I'm going to one of those theaters where you can order. You have reserved seats, and you can order food at your chairs.
That's
So
where we're
I-
going.
Yeah, I reserved some cool seats, and we're gonna order some food. He's gonna have a blast. We
It's
never go
easier
there.
to get tickets to those places because they're a little bit more expensive. And
Yeah.
this one that we're going, you have to be 21 and over to go, actually,
Oh,
because they serve cocktails.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do they have servers in maid outfits?
Fortunately, no.
You know how people are always like, you could save so much money by buying candy at CVS or Walgreens before you go to the movies and like smuggle it in. I'm like, man, I don't spend shit on anything. But
Mm.
when I go to the movie theater, I like to live large. I get the
Yeah.
big popcorn.
I don't see
and
movies that often in the theater.
Yeah, exactly.
so-
That's how I am too. And we get the recliner seats, and everybody's got their own popcorn and all the snacks they could eat. I don't give a shit. I buy everything for everybody. It's fun as hell.
It's also an experience that it is part of it, right?
Yeah.
It is part of that
It's part of the
I don't know.
experience for sure. Getting snacks and all that.
without yeah.
The thing is, I can't do like meals. So some of those, like you go to the place and they have full on menus and all that. Like we tried
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, I can't eat this ice cream because I'm watching this movie. And I'm like,
Mhm.
for me, if I have to turn away and stop paying attention for the movie and to eat something, like I feel like that's a foul.
I understand that.
That's a foul right
Yeah,
there.
I understand
you know?
that. I think usually when we go to these places, we usually eat during the all the trailers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Get there, order
So-
the food, get our trailer, and then we're full. Got our drinks, got our feel nice and good.
I like
in our
what I
recliner
love is that you can order a beer and it comes in a glass. Like
That's awesome.
it's like
I like that.
it's like a legit
Yeah.
beer. You're
I
not
don't know if
getting-
how many beers do you want to drink before you start a 3-hour movie, though?
Just
don't
bring a
know.
bottle.
But it's okay to like be drinking a beer while the movie's going. You know what I mean? You're not like, yo, another one and another one and
You just can't break the seal, Briar. You just hold it. Once you break that seal,
I ain't about that life. I like to go to the bathroom when I feel like I need to go to the bathroom.
Just wear a catheter, bro. Just don't.
Let's be real here. You don't wear a catheter. A catheter wears you.
You could wear a
Steve.
diaper.
wow.
Doctor,
This has been
Past
Holtzman's TED
experience
Talk.
we need to hear. This is Ted Solz's
Dr. Eric Deibler says, what question do you wish people would ask you, but they never do?
How does it feel to be taller than Tefty?
I was about to
nobody
say.
ever asked
Oh
me
my
I was
that.
about to say, why am
Nobody
I
ever asked me that?
I was actually going to say in my head, why are you taller than Pope? That was the question. That's amazing, Pope. Yeah, it means
Yeah.
Wow.
you know what that means. We're connected, Pope. All right, we should go to the movie theater together, but I'm not eating food. I'm strictly watching. Okay.
Okay.
The movie.
Well, hey, you come over for we live 3 blocks from the beach.
Sounds amazing.
Hey, by the way,
Yes.
you can have my house in the month of July.
Can I stream from your house?
Yep.
You have fiber optic internet?
I can get it. It's right off the wire right here.
You just lasso a line.
Yeah, just tap it in.
Yeah,
there.
they keep bugging me to upgrade.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
It's actually just like $5 more to upgrade to fiber.
There's my question. Nobody ever asked me, would you like fiber optic internet?
I mean, there's 2 fiber optic lines that run the direction streets that I'm in. I can choose one or the
Can you really get fiber and you just haven't got it yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's AT&T fiber that goes on both streets, and they keep bugging me to upgrade.
Nice.
I think for me, especially coming off the Japan trip, or just in general, is asking me about the history of a place, because my whole time, especially with Tomo, he doesn't really care about history. I'm just like, so you want to know the story about what the statue is? And it's like, no, I'm telling you anyway, because it's interesting.
I kept asking Tomo, and then I just realized later in the
Tomo
trip,
knows
Tomo
nothing.
Tomo doesn't care. So I'm just like,
He doesn't
I'm
know
gonna start
anything
asking
about
lots.
the religion stuff, because people kept asking Tomo, because his family's from Japan.
Yeah, I was
What
like,
is this
Tomo,
shrine? What is this god? What is the reason for this? And he's like, I don't
That
know.
was a
My parents
reasonable
aren't
ask, I
religious.
think.
That's why they left Japan.
Is there any baseball in Japan? Do they have baseball leagues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Japan. Wait, really?
He knows about baseball.
Wow.
So there's
What do you mean, wait, really?
no.
I meant wait, really to Tefty's question. Like,
Oh,
Is
okay.
there baseball in Japan, like actual leagues in Japan for baseball?
Yes.
It's like a real deal there.
Is it really?
It's-
Yeah, there's some of the
Yes,
best.
it's
There's some
fucking
really
huge.
awesome baseball players that come over from Japan.
I had no idea. This is
Just like
completely
when
new to me.
Tomo, when people wearing a Mariners hat, everyone's just like Ichiro,
Yeah.
Ichiro, because
Mhm.
Ichiro
Wow.
is huge over there. He's on every like commercial, every billboard. He's everywhere.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Regular the Dingo says, who would win Ferrari Friday?
Well,
Breyer, 'cause he
considering that
always
Breyer's
goes
the
in-
only one that plays it, and he keeps locking us out of Ferrari
Seriously.
He's got a
Friday,
clear
none of us
lead.
can even drive.
It's like Holtz with Golf It. Yeah, of course.
Of course
win.
he's gonna win. He knows how to
Let me
cheat.
read the rest of the question. Breyer, because he always goes in on all the fun stuff. Pre-family Pope. So this isn't current Pope. This is pre-family Pope.
family Pope.
Because he is the most reckless.
Oh.
Holtz, because he did all the numbers and the most meticulous planning.
Oh, he
Or
was just
Watts, or Watts, because, well, she's Watts. And Tefty doesn't race because he uses the wrong hill.
Wait, what?
I didn't make
they
the
don't,
question.
Tefty, they don't make gluten-free Ferraris. You're out.
Yes, they do.
Oh. Yeah.
Come on.
He's got a good point. I'm telling you, if we're talking pre-kids Pope,
All bets off.
I
It might be Pope. I think he might kill us to win. I wouldn't put it past.
I don't.
He's definitely taking Patrick out.
Oh, I'm actually. This is like Mad Max. I'm actually ripping Patrick's skull out of his body and mounting it on my Ferrari.
I feel like Holtz never gets off the starting line
I
because
just-
he's just bitching about where the clutch is the entire
Yeah,
time.
I'm like, dude, this is fucking bullshit.
This is not the proper place to put a clutch.
Complain about the rules about Ferrari Friday. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm so
I'm in
going
the-
like
I'm in
I
the corner
expected
spraying,
paddle
like,
shifters, and
skid on-
you're giving me a fucking manual transmission where I gotta fucking use a clutch on this. No, this is
my
bullshit. This is a Ferrari. I expect paddle shifters. Where the fuck is my launch control up in this bitch? No, I'm out.
Yeah, that's the last time you're getting invited.
Yeah, I definitely think Breyer would win. He's got the upper hedge.
He
Yeah,
absolutely
he knows
does.
the track. He knows the track for sure.
Yeah,
He knows the
he
cars.
put it together. He put the event together. Yeah.
So I'm in the lead, and he pushes a button from his car, and like a blue turtle or shell comes flying out of nowhere.
You know,
Oh,
also,
let's make a note of that.
I think the premise is off though, because the premise is that it's a race that we're all in like this extreme competition about. I thought Ferrari Fridays was about just racing around the track for fun.
Wasn't it
No.
us just like blowing up Ferraris?
Yeah,
Like
that's
monster
Saturday.
truck Ferrari
Saturday's
time?
yeah, like
Saturday's the demolition derby. It was the Lamborghini Derby.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
sounds
Yeah.
fun
Can you
too.
imagine
Ferrari
if you
Fridays
actually
for
did
racing.
that? Imagine if you did a Lamborghini demolition derby and you YouTubed it. That would be.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine the comments on that? It'd be like $1 million demolition derby.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was like bumper Ferraris.
exactly.
Or something, right?
Like,
yeah.
Bumper
we're
Ferrari.
That's
trashing
what I thought.
Ferraris until they stop working, and then we all get drunk
Huh.
because
I won't
Breyer
take
has a lot of beer.
Why do we got to get drunk afterward?
Because that could be
If
dangerous.
it's on a closed track and they're made for bumping. might
We're
be
not
okay.
here promoting drinking and driving. All right,
No.
we're gonna smash
What
these
about drinking and
Ferraris
bumping?
and then get drunk afterwards.
Mhm. I like this
Mr.
idea.
Goodbites says, now that Holtzman has visited Asia, has sushi or any other food been added to his list of foods which he can eat 15 pounds of in one sitting?
Yeah,
Can you,
Is there a
15
new
pounds of
Japanese
sushi?
food that you can eat 15 pounds of?
Mm.
See, the thing is, I don't think there were any foods that I ate where I wasn't eating just all of it. Like thing with the crawfish that I always have to explain is I'm
Here we go.
eating like a pound of it, not 15 pounds of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to have to play back
15
the tape
pounds
on that
of
one.
okonomiyaki. Just a giant,
Oh
giant pancake.
God,
Do you guys
I would-
eat, when you're on vacation, do you guys eat like small meals because you know the next meal is like 4 hours away? Because it's like part of vacationing.
It's
is like-
Japan. They're just like
keep
small
going.
meals anyway.
yeah.
You
I
just
love
eat
doing that.
everything.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we're walking by a street vendor. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go grab some of that, whatever
You
whatever
got
that
to.
is. That's meat on a stick. Yes, I will have that, please.
I want to know more about this bone-in sausage that you got.
Dude, I want to know too.
What?
I didn't get it.
He didn't
I-
get
Bone-in
it.
sausage.
Because he's a loser.
bone and
I would've
sausage.
eaten it,
How's
but I'm
that
not gonna
possible?
I want to know too because
And was
look,
it called a boner sausage?
I don't know.
Good question.
If anyone could translate what the hell was on that page, but it was okay. Just picture a sausage, just a normal,
Just a regular sausage.
regular sausage.
Okay.
Like a breakfast
With-
sausage?
I'll go with more bratwurst. We'll say bratwurst.
Bratwurst.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bratwurst.
Okay.
Cooked bratwurst with a fucking bone sticking out of it, like just out of the end.
Both ends or one end?
Just one
One
end.
end.
One end.
It's just one end, like it yanked it off of whatever.
It's like
Nice.
a corn dog, but with the bone.
Like the sausage
Yeah.
animal?
Yeah. Corn dog.
They're like, oh, these
With
ribs
the-
are really useful. Why dump them?
Yeah,
Stick
no,
them into
that's
the
exactly
sausage.
it. It looks
There's
like
a
it's
three-legged
like a rib.
sausage running around Japan right now.
I have a
Yeah,
feeling they just stuck the bone in there.
I
Just
really
for
think they
you
did.
to- Just for
It's
you
like
to eat
for
it
you to
or
hold
something.
on to while you
Yeah,
eat
you
your
see, some
sausage.
leverage.
I guess
Instead of
I
putting
guess,
a
but
stick, they were like, put a freaking bone in
The
it.
thing is, only one of the sausages had the bone in it in the picture. None of the other ones did. Just
They just
one.
run out
Just
of
that
sticks?
sausage.
Just that one sausage had the bone in it.
Man, you should have got it, man. You would have had answers.
I kind of wanted to get it.
That's it. You got to go
I
back.
can see why you wouldn't want to
There's
eat
so
it,
many
though.
regrets. We needed the boner sausage.
Yeah.
Patrick was the one that was gonna get it.
This will forever live in the lore of alongside Boner Spider.
Boner sausage.
All right. Listen close to this one. This was from Trent.
Oh
And
boy.
he says, you're hand washing dishes. Okay. No dishwasher available here.
Okay, that's
You have
how
one of
I
those
normally do it,
sinks
but
that
it's
has
fine.
two separate tubs.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? Like the
Yeah,
split
that,
sink.
that's what I.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
that's what I have right now. Yeah.
Which side of the sink do you plug? The
I
sink
don't plug
side
Why
or
am I
the
plugging?
disposal
Shh,
side?
let him.
Neither.
The majority answer will settle a debate with my wife, and I.
geez.
So please explain your reasoning.
Neither, because plugging it just makes your dishes stay dirty. Like you're not actually really washing them off at that point. You're just getting them covered in more like soapy, crappy water of the other stuff you washed off.
So crap.
Yeah, so like you just wash them off, and then you.
I'm with Holtzman here. I don't actually plug my sink when I'm washing dishes.
I don't either.
I use running water. It's probably wasteful to do it the way I do it because I have the water running the entire time I'm doing dishes. But I don't fill the sink. I just I rinse the sink in the running water while I'm scrubbing it.
Yeah.
And then rinse the soap off and then dry.
I feel like that actually uses less water overall too, because have you ever noticed how much water it actually takes to fill the sink up? It's kind of a lot.
Well,
but I think
here's a twist.
You probably run the sink for like 2 minutes to fill up the sink, but I'm doing dishes for like 15.
Yeah, I'm not letting it run the entire time though. I'm always turning it off.
See,
well, I have a twist to all of this though. So when I'm doing dishes, by the time I've started doing them, there's a lot of dishes in the sink, and stuff's falling to the
You can't possibly get to that plug until you finish.
So the reality is that I start washing my dishes from an unplugged sink, but there's so much crap that falls off of the dishes that it ends up plugging the sink anyway, and I can't unplug it until I get through all the dishes to the bottom to clear the drain. So I'm gonna have to tell this man that the answer is both.
My answer would be disposal side, because if it's getting plugged anyway,
that's where the leftovers are going to go.
You want to throw that stuff into the disposal.
Yeah.
So if you I really need to know. Frankly, I need a follow-up question because I need to know more about your actual washing technique. Are you using the full sink as a rinse, or are you actually doing your scrubbing in there?
I think we also need photos of the sink.
Possible photos would be very helpful.
Be very helpful.
We're going to need follow-up.
This is a very important subject, because if this is an argument with man and right, we can't just take it like.
We can't just throw an answer out there without knowing all the information.
No, that would be irresponsible.
It would be totally irresponsible.
This is the last question of the night. Oh, wow. We've got through those quick. Hi, Junior says, hey, Holtz, what the fuck was that hot dog with a bone in it?
There you go.
We wish we could
We
tell
already
you.
answered that.
I know that.
We wish we could tell you.
Good underscore on that one.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna Google this one.
Bone in
It was
hot
at a
dog?
place called Rainbow Karaoke, if that's helpful.
You know how
Karaoke,
bone-in
bone-in
wings
corn
are
dog?
way better than boneless wings? Maybe we've been doing hot dogs wrong for our entire lives. Maybe they should bone in this whole time.
Maybe they should be bone-in.
Like this one dude in Japan's been like, these disgusting bastards are eating boneless hot dogs.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, have you ever seen a dog with no bones? I haven't. Weird.
Yeah, you're right. The hell, man.
These are all very good points.
Yeah.
Never considered it.
That's what I like to bring the information to the podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my real.
Very
You
cool.
really contributed.
I think that's where
I
think this is where we call it, right?
Yeah.
Tefty, before we do sign-offs, you and Memes put out something pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
We did
I think we
officially
should
release a record. Yes, after a long time, we finally we recorded it about a month ago. We started writing it towards the end of last year, and then working on ideas kind of like January, and then we finally got like everything together to record it. Made it happen. It's on. We did like video and then released it on Bandcamp today, and it's on a YouTube channel. Tefty and Memes YouTube channel, which if you search that, you get the gaming channel. So you're not actually going to get the right channel for that if you do. So if you go to my Twitter, I have it pinned on there.
We'll link it. We'll link it to the.
There you go. That's the best way. So you can play it on Bandcamp or like stream it on the YouTube channel. You see the whole video of us like actually recording it, which it's been a really fun progress and or project and. Yeah, we released it today. It's not going to be on iTunes and Spotify until next month sometime. So, and it's
Congrats, Tef.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of like somebody said dark ambient, and I think that's probably closer to it than synthwave. It has elements of synthwave and elements of pop, but dark ambient is an interesting genre for it. So, yeah.
Tefty, what's the name of that song that you came out with a while back that had a video? That
Are you talking about "Shake My Fantasy"?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Does it?
Actually, if you search for "Shake Your Fantasy," that is the channel that it's on.
There we go.
There you go. You have to
so
search
Tefty,
Shake Your Fantasy.
Yeah. It's
Does
a good
this
point.
album include a dark ambient remix of Shake Your Fantasy.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, can you please
Fuck
do
it.
that?
Missed
That would be
I don't
opportunity.
think so. I think that's
amazing.
how
Oh
it's.
man.
The artist in memes and myself kind of throw up thinking about that, but it's okay.
I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I think it's awesome.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I can't wait to listen to the new album, man. I'm going to listen to it on the plane ride home.
Awesome.
I can't wait.
Yeah, thank you.
Does the video of the new song, lots of
What? You cut
Shiny.
out. You cut out.
does the new video have lots of shiny lights in it?
No. There's LEDs
Whoa.
from the synthesizers.
Acceptable.
Yeah, we did everything hardware synth wise. So it's like this there's a whole movement called DAWless, which is kind of ridiculous, but like the majority of the album is 90% DAWless, and then it did like a light mix in Ableton Live. But for the most part, everything that's on that video is serving a role to contribute to the sound. So a certain synth is like the main bass. Another synth is providing arpeggios and lead lines, and yeah, it's all very electronic, but kind of has its own thing. And Memes vocals is doing what Memes does, which is like soul power. She has a very distinct thing going on. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
I listened to a little bit of it after your tweet. I listened to the little clip that you had on there, and it was very powerful.
thanks. Yeah,
I
it's
love
been
it.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
Anybody else got any other projects they're working on? We got Holtz moving places.
I'm not moving away from Seattle. I'm just moving to a different apartment.
And I don't think he's going to be streaming it, so you can't.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I need to edit my photos I took in Japan, like more than what I already have. So I'll probably be doing that soon.
We got
That's true.
Briar over in at the St. Jude.
That's right. You'll be able to find me in economy class, either on my way back to Connecticut or on my way to LA or on my way back to Connecticut. Having a ball in economy class,
Dude, economy class all the way to Japan. It was sweet.
Oh,
Wow.
It wasn't that bad. It actually wasn't that bad.
A&A have really
my
good
biggest
seats.
problem with the airplane seats is not actually like the knees, like hitting the seat in front of me, or
You're a
like the
tall
width
guy
of the
too.
seat.
You're a big guy.
The problem is that the headrest is actually hits me kind of
Shoulder
mid
blades.
shoulder blade.
Yeah.
So it's like
I had that
for the
problem, too.
entire flight, I'm kind of like getting leaned over by that, and it just
Fortunately, the
drives me
seats
crazy.
on our flight, that thing raised up quite
That's
a ways.
nice. That's
So-
real nice.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen some flights, man. You can like lie down and like have a nap. Like they got beds.
The one good
Yeah.
thing about these chairs is that the back didn't just recline; it actually moved the whole seat.
Mhm.
So even if you went back just a tiny bit, it
Like
felt
it did
like you,
that.
yeah, it was doing
That's
this instead of
That's
just
real cool.
this thing. So that made it feel much more comfortable without having to lay all the way down and make the other person hate you. Probably, maybe, but it was way more comfortable.
Yeah.
It was good.
Thanks for tuning in into the 133rd episode, everyone. You can find more of me. I am at Holtz_YT on Twitter, where you can find me probably complaining about like moving or I don't know, like renter's insurance or
Or
something.
boner
How could you
sausages.
complain about
Sausage.
moving? What could you possibly complain about moving? It's the best thing on earth.
Yeah, it's so great. That's totally why there isn't an industry existing trying to make the entire process easier for people.
Yeah. Who goes
And doing a shitty job of it.
Who goes next? I'm confused. It's been a couple weeks. Is it me?
Yeah.
I'm Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter, twitter.com/Teft, and catch my streams, twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. And again, if you do want to check out that album, best place to find it, you go to my Twitter and check out the pinned tweet. You can see either the Bandcamp or the full video on there, because it is a little confusing. If you search Tefty and Memes, you get the wrong YouTube channel. So, yay, branding.
Who's next? Is it me?
Briar, I think.
I already went.
Briar.
My bad.
This is-
Oh,
So the
it's
whole
me.
Economy
It's
class
me.
started up.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just search for Miss 5000 Watts. If you are interested in seeing stuff that was purchased from Japan, I'm going to be showing it all off probably on Monday during the anime show because it makes sense. So I'll show you all of the Japan stuff that I bought, including a sweater from a company called Effing Rabbits.
That
Nice.
place was awesome.
The rabbits are literally having sex. Like that's
Yeah,
what the brand is.
I follow them on Twitter.
Really?
They-
I follow them on Instagram.
I am Googling that. Well, that might be a rough Google, but I'm going to
I
chance
got-
it.
I
You
got
can
you.
do FXX.
yeah, here.
K-I-N-G.
Briar, I got you.
All right.
Just-
And this has been Pope Bear. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter. No, you can't find me anywhere of those places. On Twitter at Pope Bear. I stream once a week on Sundays on the DCP channel. It's Sundays with Pope at noon ish, because I'm a professional streamer and I have tons of fun.
Awesome.
It's so profesh. It's straight off my PS4. Love it.
That's profesh, man.
It's a profession. I enjoy it, and I actually do it because I enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
And we got a lot of stuff happening this next month too. We got some really great guests lined up for you guys. We're going to be putting out an announcement here in the next week or so, but we've got the new group from Crucible Radio is going to be on this second week of May 2nd. We've got Log Power Slave, we've got Benji, we've got Nem Plays. Aztec Cross is going to come back and join us. We've got Glad talking about what he's doing to prep for raids, and as well as Datto. We've got Frostbolt and the Destiny Fun Police also coming on the show, talk about PvP changes and things like that are up into June. So we have a lot of great guests lined up for the next 2 months, talk about Destiny and all the great things that are happening in the gaming world. So make sure to stay tuned in. And I really want to do a huge shout out to our patrons who have made all this possible. We've got some great projects lined up and stuff that we can't wait to talk to you about. Your support through Twitch and through Patreon and watching our show. If you're watching right now or listening on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like it, comment. All that stuff helps us out greatly. We've managed, even though Destiny is struggling a little bit in viewership, we've managed to keep our viewer numbers and listener numbers to the heights that I can't even believe it. We just are getting a report for over 100,000 listens of our podcast per month. And that kind of stuff allows us to do what we do. And I know a lot of you guys are out there are either taking a break from Destiny or are, but still tune in. And we really appreciate you. We can't wait for this game to blow up again. And for those of you that are still grinding it out, really excited. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. So what are you looking at, Briar?
Briar's
They
face.
brought a hamster in.
Who?
They're fucking rabbits.
What?
I'm in
gave
this
them- I gave
very
them the link to
serious
the
moment,
website.
thanking our audience, and you're talking about hamsters.
Yeah. Have you never listened
There's
to
no
this
junkie
podcast,
going
right?
on here, Pope. This is
All right.
very serious stuff.
You know what?
You want to see how rainbows are made?
Oh my god.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you all for
That's
tuning
it.
in. And bye.
Bye.
Bye.